I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. The Bengals lost to the Ravens Thursday night, and they've lost quarterback Joe Burrow for the rest of the season with a torn ligament in his right wrist. Cincinnati coach Zach Taylor.
He's responding in a positive manner. You can only control what you can control. And his next step for us is continue to lead his team just in a different way and assisting Jake and trust that he'll be able to do that and help us be fine moving forward.
Zach Taylor, who referred to Jake, that's Jake Browning, now the starting quarterback. Titans QB Ryan Tannehill will be the backup to Will Levis for Sunday's game against the Jaguars. Tannehill's still recovering from a high right ankle sprain. He hasn't played in a month. ESPN's Jake Trotter reports the Browns will bring in veteran quarterback Joe Flacco for a workout. The Browns will start rookie Dorian Thompson-Robinson Sunday against the Steelers. Deshaun Watson will miss the rest of the season with a fractured right shoulder. And our Pete Thamel reports Missouri linebacker Tyron Hopper is out for tomorrow night's game against Florida with an ankle injury. Missouri and Florida, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN.
Brought to you by the Capital One Venture X card. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel. Plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Live from Rouse's, Burbank and Lee. Fired up to be here to tackle hunger and fill the food bank. My buddy Mr. Mike Manning from the Baton Rouge Food Bank is here. And we're hoping that a lot of you come by today and help us help our neighbors who are hungry during this Thanksgiving and holiday season. We got a ton to get to. Phil Steele in 15 minutes. Theriot's here on site with us next hour. Bill Bender will be here in hour number 3. We'll get you our what to watch for this football weekend. 3 hours, lock-loaded, ton of football. I'll get to Brian Kelly from Thursday here in just a quick second, but if you were listening to SportsCenter right there at the top of the hour, for the benefit of those who have not heard yet, Joe Burrow, torn ligament in his wrist. He is done for the season. Here was Zach Taylor Friday at a press conference, the Bengals head coach, with the announcement.
The biggest news will be with Joe Burrow. You know, he had an acute injury yesterday, likely on the play before his last one, where he tore a ligament in his wrist that will likely require surgery and require him to be out for the rest of the season.
That is just devastating for Joe Burrow, who, of course, in his rookie season, as we all know, had the knee injury, which cost him half of that year, rehabbed, got his team to the Super Bowl, a disappointing end in the playoffs a year ago, and then the calf injury this year, which really limited him early in the season, and just when it looked like the Bengals were starting to hit their stride, Burrow shut down now with the wrist injury. Another really complicated part of this whole conversation is the fact that the Cincinnati Bengals shared a photo of Joe Burrow with a brace on that hand getting off the bus before Thursday Night Football, but Burrow never had any injury reported. As a matter of fact, here was Zach Taylor after the game, after the Bengals lost to the Ravens on Thursday night, when he was asked about that injury.
Zach, you have an update on Joe?
It looked like he sprained his wrist, so fell on it early in the game and then felt it on the touchdown pass.
Have you heard it at all before tonight?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you think he can come back? Can he come back this year?
I have no idea. All the information I have is 2 seconds worth, and then we went to go try to fight to win the game.
So there is a possibility. Zach Taylor is insisting that the injury occurred during the game and he wasn't aware of anything before the game, but the Bengals could very well be fined severely if they did not cooperate with the NFL's injury report policy. But the most pressing issue here clearly is that Joe Burrow is going to miss the remainder of the season. It's for me, Paulie, and Muse, the three of us all. We all had the Cincinnati Bengals as our Super Bowl pick. That was looking dicey regardless. But now without Joe Burrow, you can clearly bury that. The Bengals are 5-5. They're in last place in the AFC North, and Baltimore at 8-3 has a commanding lead in that division. And Joe Burrow out for the season. Okay, we're here at Rouse's. Our show, we're brought to you by our friends over at Relief Windows, as always. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding. They do it all over at Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. We're heading into the weekend, but we're headed toward the holiday. Maybe your gift to your family this year is beautiful new windows from Relief Windows. And something that I stress all the time, there's a lot of HOAs that require wood windows. Relief Windows has a wood window product that comes with a lifetime warranty. It's not a joke. It's not a punchline. It's real. You got to learn more at Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138. 288-8138 for Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, y'all, it is LSU and Georgia Southern Saturday from Tiger Stadium. This is a 31-point spread. There's nobody excited about this football game, I understand, but there is intrigue because of Jayden Daniels, and Jayden Daniels, who's continuing this push, hopefully, toward New York City and toward winning the program's third ever Heisman Trophy, which is very much in play. A couple of housekeeping. We did share this with you yesterday, but Brian Kelly confirmed. He was asked about running back Logan Diggs. Here's what he said.
What's the status with Logan Diggs for this game?
I would say he's doubtful.
So doubtful for Logan Diggs. Listen, that's perfectly fine with me. You want Logan Diggs to be healthy next week against Texas A&M because that is a game that carries great importance. Logan Diggs didn't play against Florida. You scored 52 points. You don't need Logan Diggs to go beat Georgia State, obviously. And maybe the best part of this is, remember, Brian Kelly led his post-game press conference against Florida by mentioning Josh Williams and Noah Cain, two veteran guys who came back to school, who have taken on a lesser role, and was happy to see both of them get their opportunity to score last week against Florida. Well, both of those guys now are going to get an opportunity to take the lion's share of the reps while Logan Diggs continues to heal, which is a great part of this whole thing. As far as Daniels, Brian Kelly was asked how Daniels has handled all the distractions. Look, yesterday while we were on air, Jayden Daniels was doing a hit on SportsCenter. I presume that was actually recorded earlier in the day. But whenever you're Jayden Daniels and you set a mark that has never been before seen in college football, the 350 passing yards and 200 rushing yards by a player in the same game, when you're compiling stats that are generational in nature, yes, I mean, you're going to get a lot of attention naturally. But what's so interesting about Jayden Daniels is, I think, his ability to compartmentalize all this. I know we talked to RC, Ryan Clark, on the show a lot, and Ryan's son, Jordan Clark, was teammates with Jayden Daniels at Arizona State, and so the families know each other. And I remember RC telling us this whenever Jayden came, about just how cool and calm and collected he is, how he never really gets too high or low. I would actually equate it kind of, if you want a different sport comparison, I would equate it to someone like Aaron Nola, who, the adage about pitchers sometimes, like, you don't know if they're up 5 or down 5. Their emotion never changes. That's kind of Jayden Daniels. And I remember having that conversation with RC last year after LSU beat Alabama, and it was obviously a massive win. And he scored the touchdown in overtime and then threw the game-winning 2-point conversion, and it was just like, well, that's just 5. Just another day, just another game. So it was great to see. But here was Brian Kelly about how Jayden has handled those distractions so far.
I think he's had a lot of attention all year. We've had a Amazon crew in here most of the year doing a documentary, and so we've had cameras around most of the year. So he's used to the distractions. He does a great job of keeping them at bay, and so I think he's done a great job, really, all year in terms of making the important things important and preparing himself. As I mentioned, he's in here early in the morning, gets his work done, and then when he gets to practice, he's locked in. He's been really professional.
The rest of the country's eyes will obviously be elsewhere on Saturday night, not watching LSU and Georgia State, but it is a great opportunity for Jayden Daniels to continue doing the thing that he can do most importantly, which is continuing to distance himself from the rest of the Heisman field statistically, so that there's such a compelling case in this giant mound of evidence that says when this one player so vastly leads the country in all of these different categories, total yardage, passing yardage, touchdowns accounted for, yards accounted for, everything, it's hard to make an argument to the contrary. So there is a great opportunity for Jayden Daniels tomorrow night, regardless of the opponent. All right, it is after further review. We're here at Rouse's, Burbank, and Lee. We're here for their Tackle Hunger Fill the Food Bank drive. We invite you to come by when you walk in the door or back where. If you walk in the door, go to the left. That's where we are. Floral department by the Mongolian Grill. It's where the Eagle 98.1 game day setup is. Just come back here. You'll see they already have, if you're watching, it's these brown paper bags filled with $10 worth of goods for the food bank. Just grab a bag, and when you check out, this goes to the food bank. So we hope to just sell out all of these bags that they have pre-made, which is awesome, an awesome opportunity to help our neighbors who are hungry during the holiday season. Let's knock out a quick break, y'all. We'll come back, and Phil Steele will be with us, as he is every Friday, to preview the biggest games of the college football weekend. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You know where to find them. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. And at Clegg's, they have transitioned everything from fall to Christmas. They got all your Christmas decor, and y'all, next weekend is the Poinsettia Open House, but they already got tons of poinsettia. So if you're looking to decorate inside or outside, your patio area, your office, get by Clegg's Nursery. There's 4 locations. They're all over the greater Baton Rouge area. They have the best selection. If you want to get that, there's plants or shrubs or trees in the ground, this is the time to do it. But if you're thinking about decorating for Christmas, get by Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations, you know where to find them. Clegg's Nursery has been serving our community for more than 60 years, so we always encourage you to support great local businesses. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
the best kept secret.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Football Friday, glad to have you aboard with us. Of course, 2 weekends to go. We chat with Phil Steele as we do every Friday. Our chat's presented by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Get your quote at GageGenerators.com. Phil, another great week. How are you?
I am doing well. How about yourself, Matt?
Doing really well. I wish we had a better weekend of football in the SEC. This penultimate weekend in the league stinks. Hopefully, as time and conference expansion goes along, we get better games on this weekend. But while the SEC slate is weak, the National College Football slate is pretty good, Phil. And actually, there's one of interest tonight with Colorado at Washington State. A little Friday night, 9:30 Central Time FS1 game. Line short. Washington State's a 4-point home favorite. Coach Prime and the boys got to get it done the next 2 weeks if they're going to go bowling. Can they go to Wazoo tonight on the Palouse and pull the upset?
I think there's a possibility, especially the way Washington State's been playing. They've lost their last 6 games after that great 4-0 start. Remember, they beat Oregon State, beat Wisconsin. They're ranked. Folks are talking about them as a contender, and they've just been annihilated or beaten the last 6 games. But starting to play a little bit better. I thought the Cal game, there was a couple fumble returns for touchdowns. That hurt them. They had a 483 to 327-yard edge, 32 to 16 first down edge in that game. And I think that's going to be the difference here. They have their backs to the wall as far as making a bowl game, and I think Washington State expected to make a bowl game at the start of the year. Cam Ward not having the type of season Shadur Sanders is, but they're at home. It's in the Palouse. I'm going to go with Washington State in a higher scoring game tonight.
All right. Phil likes Washington State at home tonight. Phil, we had one of these last week, and we got a couple of them this week. For me, it's an auto play when I see an unranked team favored over a ranked team, and that's the case with Miami and Louisville, where Miami at home at 6-4 is actually a slight favorite over 10th ranked and 9-1 Louisville. What do you think, Phil? We know you've told us all year Louisville's a different team at home. Well, they're on the road at Miami. Is Louisville on upset alert?
They should be, and I think Vegas has this one correct, having the game at Pick'em or Miami -1. You talk about Louisville. Last week was the first week in 16 games that the home team did not cover, and it was a game they actually led 14-0 against Virginia, but then trailed 21-14. Now they go on the road, some place that they just have not covered, and Miami is a team that, if you look at their home games this year, they beat Texas A&M, a very impressive game. They beat Clemson, and the one home loss they have is a game they probably shouldn't have lost, Georgia Tech.
Yep.
All they had to do is take a knee, and they would have won that. So you've got a really good home team against a really poor road team. You've got Louisville playing, I think, with tight maybe, because the chances are if they do win this game, they get to the ACC title game. Meanwhile, Miami's got nothing to lose. They're coming off a couple of losses. Tyler Van Dyke is back at QB. My computer actually has Miami with the 375 to 325 yard edge. I like Miami, and for you and me, it's an upset, but for Vegas, it's not an upset. But I like Miami in this one.
Phil Steele is with us. One of the few ranked-on-ranked matchups we get this weekend is out in the Pac-12 with Utah at surprising Arizona. How about the job Jed Fish has done, Phil, there with the Wildcats in that program? It's Utah is on the road. Another short line. Zone is a 1-point home favorite in this ball game. Which way do you side on Saturday, Phil?
And I'll tell you the big difference this year, Matt, with Arizona is the defensive line. When I talked to Coach Fish, one of my first questions is, what are you going to do? I mean, last year you gave up 5.6 yards per carry, over 200 yards, and he brought in a ton of transfers on the defensive line. And look at the difference. This year they're just giving up 99 yards per game and 3.2 yards per carry. So they've got the receiving core. They've got the quarterback in Fafita. This is a dangerous team. However, Utah, off a loss, is a very good team. They're off a loss. And Utah, as an away dog, is a very good team. So you got Coach Whittingham with a Utah team that's already got 3 losses. I don't think they can afford to lose a 4th one. That would really disappoint everybody. They are outstanding as an away dog, going 15-3 under Whittingham, and they're 5-1 against the spread off a loss. In fact, the last 7 times Utah has lost a game, they've won the next game, and that's basically all they have to do here. So despite how impressive Arizona has been, I like Utah plus the 1 to pull the upset in this one.
All right, Phil Steele's with us on Twitter at PhilSteele042. Get to PhilSteele.com. Make sure you take that Phil Steele Plus tour. Phil, let's jump into the SEC. And as we mentioned, it's a really light slate in the league this weekend. But we do get the top-ranked Bulldogs on the road at Rocky Top. This was a washout last year in Athens, or a whitewashing, I should say, in the rain. So it was kind of both. Tennessee, one of the more disappointing teams, I think, this year. But boy, was Georgia challenged on the road at Auburn. Might Tennessee play its best game and give the Bulldogs a challenge this weekend, 2:30 on CBS?
Yeah, I think the possibility clearly exists, especially when you look at how Tennessee has done at home under Josh Heupel. They're a very dangerous home team. Great record spread-wise, a great record. Their offense is so much more potent at home than it is on the road. So they are dangerous. But this is a Georgia team that I think is coming into its own. They realize this is the toughest test they have until the SEC title game. They only have Georgia Tech on deck. And they got Mims back on the offensive line last week, which is pretty big. You look at the fact that he missed 5 games. Now he came back last week. They had over 300 yards rushing and passing. Coach Smart is fully focused on this game. They're on the road. Play Georgia as an away favorite, play against them as a home favorite. So we're going to go with Georgia to get this one. The spread's pricey at 10, but I still would lean with Georgia in this one.
All right, Phil likes the Dogs to go on the road and get it done there on Rocky Top. Phil, interestingly enough, I can't believe we're actually talking about this one, but Iowa is in a spot that they could end up in the Big Ten championship game. So they're at home. They're a 3-point favorite over Brett Bielema's Illinois team. Does Iowa continue to roll despite its complete and total lack of any semblance of an offense?
Well, last week they actually had an offense. They were taking on a really good Rutgers team, one that came in allowing under 300 yards per game, or right around 300 per game. They put up 402 yards against them. They ran the football well with LaShawn Williams and Caleb Johnson, and the biggest difference is probably Deacon Hill. He's a big quarterback. Might remind you of something like Jared Lorenzen of Kentucky a few years back, but he actually hit 20 of 31 for 223. He got intercepted at the 3, or Iowa would have scored a touchdown, and then at the end of the game, they're taking a knee at the 5-yard line. They put up 22 points and over 400 yards last week against a really good Rutgers defense. Now, they did lose their top defensive player in Cooper DeJean last week. That's not good. They've lost their top 2 tight ends. They've lost their quarterback. But I think it's an Iowa team coming into its own. They're at home, and all they have to do is basically win the game. Last year, they blew it against Nebraska. All they had to do is win that game. That would have been the Big Ten title game. I think they get it done this year. And I've even seen some 2.5s. You might shop around for the 2.5 in this game, but I like Iowa minus the points.
All right, Phil Steele is with us, presented by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Get your quote at GageGenerators.com. Phil, I mentioned unranked teams favored over ranked teams. How about Clemson? A 7.5-point home favorite over North Carolina, the Tar Heels. Clemson maybe found themselves a little bit after that adversity and Dabo taking shots at fans. What do you think about that number that a lot of people think looks kind of stinky?
Yeah, it's a pretty high number for Clemson, but if I'm going to play the game, I would say Clemson or nothing in this one. When I look at Clemson, once again, I've mentioned it before, their 4 losses, they've actually had a 94-60 first down edge, so they are much better than the record would indicate. They played Florida State, a team that's in playoff contention, and didn't trail a single second in regulation. Florida State managed to take that thing to overtime and beat them there. And in that game, they had a 429 to 311 yard edge. So this is a really good Clemson team. Klubnik's playing better. They've got Maffa and Shipley now both back at running back. Maffa's looked really good. The offensive line's getting better, and the defense has been there all year. North Carolina's been a bit of a head case team. They got out to a big lead against Duke, settled for too many field goals last week. I'd say Clemson wins something like 7-10, so it's either Clemson or nothing in this one. Not one of my top 20 plays or anything like that, but I think Clemson gets a win at home.
Phil, let me get one more before we grab a break, and this is another one that I don't think many people before the season started thought we'd see UCLA and USC with a battle of 4 lost teams, but here we are. The Bruins at 6-4, the Trojans at home 7-4, and USC is a 6-point favorite. One of the best uniform games in college football, where both teams wear their home jerseys. It's aesthetically pleasing. What do you think about the Bruins and the Trojans?
Yeah, my favorite game to watch, just for the uniforms every year. It's great that they allow both teams to wear the uniforms, and it really is the best game, especially on the green grass. It's just a tremendous game to watch. Now, UCLA has been without Dante Moore and Ethan Garbers the last 2 weeks. Colin Schlee really struggled against Arizona State. I think both Moore and Garbers have a shot at playing here, which means they should be improved offensively. They clearly have the defensive edge, but there's no doubt USC's got the offensive edge with Caleb Williams. They got a fortunate cover against Oregon last week. Oregon missed a field goal, then they went down, scored a touchdown, and lost it by less than the 15. But I think it's one of those games where I would have favored USC by 7. The line's 6.5. It's just going to be a fun game for me to watch just with the uniforms.
Phil, we'll knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get into the night slate and some interesting jockeying for position in the Big 12. That's all still ahead. Phil Steele is with us. We're glad you are as well. We'll knock out a quick break and continue with Phil Steele on a Football Friday here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers. If you need a place to watch all of your football action, make sure you get by Pluckers this weekend or any day. Hey, high school playoffs continue rolling on. If you're going to be watching some high school playoff action tonight before the game, get by either Pluckers location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. Also, remember, Pluckers is open till midnight or later every night of the week. So after that high school game tonight, if you need a bite to eat, you don't want to eat that high school stadium food, get on by either Pluckers location. You can even watch the nightcap with, of course, the Colorado game kicks off tonight at 9:30 p.m. So you can get by and watch some college football tonight, eat award-winning jumbo chicken wings, drink ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, and all your college football on TV. Remember, the Nicholson location just south of Tiger Stadium, it is walkable. So if you want to park around Pluckers, you can grab a bite to eat, grab a cold beer. Of course, open carry laws don't exist in Louisiana on a game day. So grab your beer or daiquiri, whatever it is, and walk to Tiger Stadium. You can do it. It's Pluckers. Nicholson or Bluebonnet, dine and carry out or delivery. Pluckers, you don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Louisville for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
We continue with Phil Steele, presented by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Get your quote today at GageGenerators.com. Phil, the Big 12, the sort of jumbled mess is starting to figure itself out a little bit. Oklahoma State with what a disappointing loss last week. Now they have to go to Houston. The Pokes are a 6.5-point favorite, and they got to win if they want to keep their hopes alive and get into the Big 12 championship game. Does Oklahoma State bounce back on the road at Houston?
Yeah, I think they do. And, you look at this game, and last week's game was such an aberration for them. They had been playing so much better. Playing in my average game grades, they've been playing to about 115 level. Meanwhile, Houston has been playing under 100 level all year. They're at home for this one, Houston is. But I think when you look at the game, Houston's allowing almost 200 yards per game on the ground. Ollie Gordon, who had a poor week last week, just 12 carries for 25 yards, I think has a much bigger week this week. Alan Bowman should do well. I like Oklahoma State to have a big bounce back here. And to me, the spread's cheap. I think it would have been 10-14 prior to last week's game. After last week's game, it dropped all the way down to 6.5, as you mentioned. So get this one. It's cheap. Take Oklahoma State minus the 6.5.
Yeah, Phil, and as you mentioned, I'm looking at DraftKings right now. It's at 6. So as you say, shop around. You can drop the hook right there with DraftKings if you're there. Let's stay in the Big 12. Kansas State at Kansas. Again, we're looking at that jumble there in the Big 12 of two-loss conference team where tiebreakers could come into play. Kansas State at Kansas. The road team here, the Wildcats, a 9.5-point favorite over the homestanding Jayhawks. Seems like a big number, Phil. What say you?
You know, Kansas State's been super impressive all year. You look at their defense, they're holding opponents to 57 yards per game below the season average. They've got the run game with Giddens and Ward. Also, the quarterbacks. Will Howard has been taking the majority of the snaps after splitting time with Avery Johnson for a while, but Avery Johnson gives them that run threat out of the quarterback position along with Howard. This is really a good Kansas State team. And last week for Kansas, they opened up against Texas Tech, and in the first quarter they lose their starting quarterback, Jason Bean. So all of a sudden you're down to walk-on quarterback Cole Ballard at QB. And they struggle, but still almost pulled out the win against Texas Tech. They were inside the 5-yard line, settled for a field goal, and Tech went down and won it. However, better defense, better quarterbacks. Bean could return this week, but if he doesn't, it's back to Cole Ballard for Kansas. And this is a series that, since the 80s, has belonged to Kansas State. They always dominate Kansas. I got to like Kansas State minus the points in this one.
Phil, let's jump to the Pac-12. Man, this is probably the marquee game of the weekend with Washington at Oregon State, number 5 at number 11. And you have taught us well all year about how good of a team Oregon State is at home at Reser Stadium there in Corvallis. This is a virtual pick'em. Oregon State right now, I'm looking at it, is a 1-point home favorite over Washington. What do you think, Phil? Do the Beavs hand the Huskies their first loss of the season?
Yeah, I tell you, you look at this Oregon State team, they've got the better defense. They're holding opponents to 39 yards per game below their season average. Washington's actually allowing opponents 10 yards above. Naturally, Washington's got the better offense, but Oregon State's got this massive home edge at Reser, and they're 17-1 straight up and against the spread.
It's crazy.
That's just a remarkable number. And remember, the last couple of years, they've been playing in a reconfigured stadium where they were under construction, wasn't even full capacity. This year, they're at full capacity. So anytime Oregon State's at home, look what they did to Utah, 21-7. Look what they did to UCLA, won by double digits. I got to take the Beavers in this. Vegas knew it. That's why Oregon State's actually a favorite over the highly ranked Washington team. But I agree with them 100%. You can't go against the Beavers at home. Love the chainsaw they got going on third downs.
Phil Steele is with us. Make sure you got him on Twitter at PhilSteele042. A few more games to get to in the night window. And, of course, our chats with Phil every week are presented by Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Phil, like we mentioned, it's a week slate in the SEC. We have Georgia, Tennessee, as we mentioned last segment. Florida. Phil, Florida's got to get a win either at Missouri or next week at home against Florida State to get to bowl eligibility. But, man, that certainly feels like it's easier said than done in both instances. Missouri's been mighty impressive this year, and they are an 11-point home favorite here over the Gators. What do you think? Does Mizzou continue to roll and take care of business against Florida?
I do think Missouri wins the game, but it's 11.5 right now. And, watching the Florida LSU game, Matt, did that feel like a 17-point win last week?
I don't know, man. All I saw was Jayden Daniels just keep going up and down the field. I mean,
he is a smooth runner. I'll tell you that much.
But to your
looks
point,
like he's
Phil,
not even trying.
To your point, Florida had the lead in the third quarter. They led 28-24, and all LSU did from that point on was just outscore them 28-7. So, yes, they got Jayden Daniels, but yes, it was a close game in the third quarter.
Yeah, and then LSU I think got ahead of the spread to 17 with like 3 or 4 minutes to go. Florida got down to the 5-yard line at the end. I believe they had a first and goal and a chance to cover. So I think they can play good. It's tough going against Missouri. I went against Missouri last week with Tennessee, and I went against Missouri with Georgia, and was wrong in both cases. But I would actually lean a little bit with Florida plus the points. But I think it'll be an interesting game. I personally wouldn't have it in my top 15 or 20.
All right. Let's see if we can get a few more in here. Phil, this is one, it's just kind of the names on the marquee that makes it interesting. Nebraska and Wisconsin, disappointing season there at Wisconsin. They're changing their offense and everything. But, Phil, the winner of this game gets to bowl eligibility. It's why it's relevant for both these programs here that are sitting there at 5-5. Which is it of the battle of first-year head coaches? Is it going to be Matt Rule, or is it going to be Luke Fickell getting to bowl eligibility this week in the game? Wisconsin's a 5.5-point home favorite there at Camp Randall.
I'd like to know the complete health of Wisconsin, because that's really been the key. They lost their quarterback, Mordecai. They lost their top running back, Braylon Allen. They lost their number 2 running back, Ches Malusi. They lost their number 1 receiver, Chamari DK, I should say. And but Braylon Allen came back last week, only had 3 carries. Tanner Mordecai returned last week. If they could be fully healthy, then I think they have a shot at the win. But probably what I like best here, you've got 2 really good defenses and 2 offenses. Wisconsin's is banged up. Nebraska hasn't done much all year except turn the ball over. I like the under in this game. The total is about 37 in this one, so under is probably your best play in that one.
All right. Let's see one more, Phil, before we get to I'll at least get a thought on Jayden Daniels and LSU. We all know the outcome of the game, but I'll at least get your thought on Jayden here in a second. But I did want to ask you about Texas and Iowa State. Phil, maybe this is just every LSU fan's poison from 2011 of watching Oklahoma State lose on that Friday night in Ames, which essentially opened the door for Alabama to get a rematch with LSU in the national championship. So I see a game at night at Ames, and I just go, you better be careful, Texas, walking on the road into Ames, Iowa in a night game on Fox. Texas is a 7.5-point road favorite over the Cyclones. What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, I like Iowa State with a possible upset here. When you look at Iowa State, they're incredible at home. You go back to the 2 games ago, the one they lost to Kansas. They gave up a 50-yard interception return for a touchdown, part of the reason that they lost that game. But at the start of the year, they lost their quarterback. They lost their top running back. They lost the receiver. They have gotten better and better by the week. They're on a nice 4-1 run over the last 5 games, a nice blowout win at BYU last week. And with Texas, really, if Texas's best shot at covering this number probably went down at the end of the game against TCU last week. Remember, Jonathan Brooks went out in the fourth quarter, and now he's out for the year. He's been their most dynamic running back, averaging 6.1 yards per carry. C.J. Baxter's a very good running back, but only 4.4 yards per carry this year. I think Iowa State's got a shot at the upset, and 7.5, get that hook while you can, because I like Iowa State plus the points at home.
He is the best. He's Phil Steele. Phil, LSU plays Georgia State. They're a massive favorite. It's one of the dumpy games in the SEC this weekend, and as we talked about, I just hate that it comes to this. We're at the end of November. You expect to see all these meaningful games, and we get Georgia State coming into Baton Rouge as a 5-score underdog. Maybe, Phil, a thought on the game, but I think the thing that most people here are more interested in is, what does Jayden Daniels have to do over the next 2 weeks to put himself in position to win the Heisman Trophy?
I think what he has to do is just have a couple of big games like he's been having. He doesn't have to match what he did against Florida. That was just an incredible performance. But right now, I'd say he's the front runner for the Heisman. I'm a Heisman voter. He's definitely up there in my top ballot, if not at the very top of it. Of course, they keep everything open until the games are over. But he should put up some good numbers here. Georgia State's been struggling on defense. The last 3 weeks, they've been giving opponents more than their season average. You can hurt them both running and passing. They've really been disappointing the last 3 weeks. So I think LSU has a big game. Probably keeps Jayden Daniels in through the third quarter at least, so he can keep those stats rolling. And I think he is probably the Heisman frontrunner right now.
Do you think Bo Nix has to lose for Jayden Daniels to win it?
I don't think that has to happen because I think there's a good amount of people around college football that are saying Jayden Daniels is the best player out there. But having Bo Nix lose, right now Bo Nix is got to be one of your favorites. And I think Bo Nix beating Michael Penix in 2 weeks will actually help his stock a lot because that'll be a marquee game in 2 weeks for the Pac-12 title.
He is Phil Steele on Twitter at PhilSteele042. We always tell you about the Phil Steele Plus Tour. Phil, remind them about what they get if they get onto YouTube and take that Phil Steele Plus Tour.
Yeah, they get free selections, and this week's it's a guaranteed free week, Matt. The selections, I've only done this once before, guaranteed to have a winning week on the 5 selections, or you get my Inside the Press Box newsletter next week, a $20 value free. The last time I put a guarantee out, the plays went 4-1, so they didn't pick up on the guarantee, but picked up on a nice winning week. So check it out. It's at philsteele.com. It's right at the top of the blogs, or go to the YouTube channel. But take the Phil Steele Plus Tour. It's a guaranteed winning week.
He is Phil Steele with us every single Friday, courtesy of Gage, Louisiana's #1 Cummins dealer. Get your quote at GageGenerators.com. Phil, you're the best. We'll look forward to talking next week on a Black Friday where we'll have a full slate of games as well.
Well, good luck to you this weekend. I hope LSU can squeak out a victory, Matt.
Thank you, Phil. We appreciate it as always. The one and only Phil Steele. We'll continue here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. You know, at Hudco, we've had just bad weather this week, as you well know. And, man, it is it's always interesting that whenever rain falls, we end up hearing the phones buzz off the hook because most people wait until they have water in their house to realize, hey, probably time to call a roofing company. You can always call us to get a free, no-obligation roofing inspection and be a little proactive. But if the rain this week has made you realize, man, you got some roof damage, we'd love to help you out. From the smallest repair at a residential single-family home to the largest roof replacement on a commercial building, we can help. Maybe it's the coating product you've heard us talk about for flat or metal roofs, roughly half the cost of a roof replacement that comes with a 20-year warranty, or we'd love to work with your insurance company to get your claim approved to get you that new roof. It's Hudco Roofing. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. More than a year and a half after a raid on the St. Gabriel Police Department and the police chief's house, the criminal investigation is closing in on him and could result in criminal charges this week. When the raids took place in the summer of 2022, sources told the investigative unit that they were looking for money that went missing in a high-profile murder case. They've now found more issues. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on all new 23 Ford F-150 Black Widow trucks, plus $2,750 discount APR and 5.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, back here at Rouse's, Burbank and Lee, benefiting the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Tackle hunger, fill the food bank. Thanks to Phil Steele for joining us, as he does every Friday. Theriot in about 15 minutes from right now. We normally do Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. In lieu of a traditional Around the SEC, let me just update this story for you quickly. Jeff Traylor, who's the head coach at UTSA, and they're having a fine season right now, was asked earlier this week about his name coming up in the A&M search. Here's what Jeff Traylor said.
Me coaching in the state of Texas my entire life, and the success we've had at Gilmer and here at UTSA, it's natural. It means you've been winning a lot of ball games. That means I've had a group of seniors, 21 of them, they're going to play their last home game this Friday night. So they've had 4 years of success. And so that speculation is going to always come up when you've had great players like I've had and been blessed to coach them.
Okay, so that is the non-denial. It wasn't even a non-denial denial. It was just a non-denial. He just chose not to address it. Speculation will come up. Specifically with Jeff Traylor, if you're not familiar, so he's 55 years old. You heard him mention in that clip that he spent his entire life in the state of Texas. From 1989 until 2014, he was a high school football coach in Texas. When Charlie Strong got the Texas job, he hired Traylor as the special teams and tight ends coordinator. So he was at UT under Charlie Strong. Then Chad Morris hired him at SMU, brought him to Arkansas, and then he got the UTSA job in 2020, where he's been ever since. He's had a lot of success. They've won 2 conference championships, and they're 7-3 right now. So he's had a good run. This would make no sense whatsoever to me for Texas A&M. If you're A&M and a program of that stature, and this is the same thing I said at LSU when LSU was hiring a coach, and I would say for a place like Southern Cal a year ago, or Oklahoma, or Florida a year ago, or name it, the inevitability when Nick Saban retires from Alabama. When you make a hire, you minimize risk. Just look at through the LSU lens. Hiring Brian Kelly, Kim Mulkey, Jay Johnson. Look at what Scott Woodward has done. He's recognized the resources he has, and he's trying to minimize risk. No coach is a sure thing. Jimbo Fisher is evidence of that. The guy had won a national championship. But how can you minimize risk in the hire you're making? And when you're Texas A&M and you have those resources, hiring a guy from UTSA who's never coached or won at the highest level is a gigantic risk. Kirby Smart is an outlier. I get it. He was a first-time head coach. There are more examples of Will Muschamp than there are of Kirby Smart. And it's also not to say that a coach can't go from a lower level to a higher level and have success. Jim Tressel is a great example of that. Chris Kleiman right now at Kansas State. But Tressel and Kleiman both won 4 national titles at a lower level. Tressel won 4 1AA titles. Kleiman won 4 FCS national titles. You were talking about coaches with a proven championship pedigree stepping up. This is Traylor's first ever head coaching opportunity at UTSA. That is a coming off of a situation with Jimbo Fisher where you just set a match to $76 million. If your choice is the guy who's been a head coach now in his 4th season as a head coach at UTSA, and that's your choice, that is a massive risk, and that is the type of thing that gets an athletic director fired. I mean, if you are Ross Bjork, this is your one cut at the plate because you're the one who gave Jimbo the extension. And you just cost your booster $76 million because you're the one who gave him the $96 million guaranteed extension. Everyone focuses on the initial contract. And I said this when Jimbo was initially hired. Think about a 10-year, $75 million contract or paying your coach at Texas A&M $7.5 million state. It's beans. He's the 20th highest paid coach. You, Ross Bjork, are the one that gave him the extension, the guaranteed, the $96 million, and you better get this right And if better get this right is Jeff Traylor, brother, you are playing with fire, man. Whew. I know Dan Campbell was asked about it. Muse, can we play this, please? Dan Campbell, the Lions head coach who played at A&M, was asked about reported interest or A&M's reported interest in Dan Campbell for the job.
Unofficially, officially, did Texas A&M approach you?
Maybe, but that's all good, and certainly I know some people there, and I love my school, that's my, alma mater, and I want to do anything I can to help them, but coach for them. So, and I'll do that.
That is what we call a denial. I want to do whatever I can for them, but coach. As we say, there's the non-denial, the non-denial denial, and the denial. That is a denial. I will do anything for them, but coach. Basically, I ain't coaching them. And why would you, man? You're the cock of the walk right now in the NFL. Might win the NFL Coach of the Year this year. Dan Campbell. All right, we're brought to you by DraftKings, official sports betting partner of the NFL. Remember, next week for Thanksgiving, you make a $5 bet on the NFL. They'll give you $150 in bonus bets instantly. Still got the great NBA deal going on as well. Make a $5 bet on the NBA, and DraftKings will give you $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's for new customers when you use the promo code Baton Rouge. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Make a $5 NBA bet. They'll give you $150 in bonus bets instantly. One of the things I always recommend, of course, is playing along with Phil Steele's plays. You can do that at the DraftKings Sportsbook. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. College, NFL, NBA, NHL, whatever it is, money line, spread, totals, prop bets, they got you covered at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Licensing partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537.
All right, we are at Rouse's Burbank and Lee, and we encourage you to come on out and help us tackle hunger and fill the food bank. And the director of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, director or CEO? CEO. I've known him for, let me say this. He's known me since I don't know. Certainly before I was shaving. Mike Manning is here with us.
Well before you were shaving.
Well before I was. I don't know, but I was shaving in the 8th grade, man.
No, well before that.
That's true. That's very true. How are you, man? It's great to see you.
Doing well. Good to see you, too.
This is a really cool event to come and do this. How important is it for the food bank to have philanthropy and support, especially during the holidays?
Well, we can't do what we do without the community's help, and it's key for us, especially leading into the holidays, because this is when people are thinking about how thankful they are for their situation and how much they can give back to make a difference. So raising awareness like this and doing a drive to help us with Guarantee and the Guarantee Media Group and Rouse's is just tremendous help.
Give me some context on our community. In the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank services an 11 parish area.
Right.
I mean, it's a massive area, but give me some context on how many people, how many of our neighbors in our community you serve.
Well, on an average, unduplicated people, we serve between 80 and 100,000 people a year.
It's incredible.
On a monthly basis, it's between 40 and 45,000 people. But it may not be the same people every month. So
but it's an incredible number.
Yeah, it is.
When you think about, we live in the freest, richest country in the world, and there's people that go to bed every night hungry.
Yeah, and the problem for us in Louisiana is we're number one. We've won all these championships recently, but we're number one in child food insecurity and senior food insecurity. And those are the two most vulnerable populations, the people who can't do anything really about that situation.
So how do we fix it? I mean, you've dedicated your career to doing this.
Yeah, and we need to do some things at the national level. We need to do some things locally. The biggest thing we can do is improve education. Because if we can get people educated, they can get jobs and they can be successful. What we're trying to do is help bridge, especially young people, the working poor, bridge them through that process so they can get to success and no longer need us. And we were doing pretty good. We were seeing people get out of line and needing assistance from us, and then all the inflation hit.
Yeah.
And that really set us back, and we are now seeing people who were not in line with us get back in line looking for assistance.
Well, we're 6 days away from Thanksgiving, and these final 90 seconds, let's tell people how they would, if they come here today and they'll see these brown bags, what's in these brown bags?
Basically, it's some food product, and if they buy the bag, we'll get that donated to us. It's awesome. Either $10 or $5, and they can always go online to the food bank at brfoodbank.org or go to our phone app, and they can donate, they can set up a food drive, or they can schedule to come volunteer and help us.
brfoodbank.org.
That's right.
brfoodbank.org. or come on by and see us at Rouse's. I mean, T-Bob's walking around here. I saw Gordy Rush over here. I mean, we're the stars out today, Mike. Look at this.
I don't know how we did that happen.
Come on by. We're here at the Rouse's, Burbank and Lee. And when you walk in, as Mike said, you'll see the brown bags. We got a bag. If you walk in and come to the left, back by the floral department's where we are, you'll see all the bags on the tables here. We got one sitting right here. You just grab the bag, take it to the register.
And we got the tent set up outside.
Yeah. Great day, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Great.
My
Thank
best
you.
to the family. It's always good to see you.
Same to yours.
That is Mike Manning, the CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, who I think at some point in life probably coached me basketball when I was nothing but a fat kid that they were like, hey, just put your butt on somebody and rebound. Does that sound about right?
I was involved in some of that.
All right, it's after further review. Right Radio Hours are next. It is AFR. We're here at Rouse's.
AFR.
Wrapping up hour number 1, brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com with more than 30 locations across 11 different states. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. They're just the best. I say it all the time. If you weigh or measure something, they sell, service, rent the products you use to weigh and measure. Let's say you're a food bank with like thousands of pounds of food and you need to weigh out all that food. Well, Michelli has those high-level scales. When you go to the airport and you put your luggage on the scale, to make sure you're not over 50 pounds like my wife is every time we travel. We have to take shoes out and move stuff in the bags because she just doesn't plan accordingly. The little sticker right there on the side, you'll see a Michelli sticker right there. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. From precision measurement devices to the world's largest distributor of scales, it's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Remember, they got ISO 17025 accreditation. If you don't know what that is, doesn't matter because you don't need it. But if you do know what it is, you know why it's important. It's Michelli. Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Online at Michelli.com.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Louisville for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Bad news for the Bengals today from Cincinnati head coach Zach Taylor.
Joe Burrow, he had an acute injury yesterday, likely on the play before his last one, where he tore a ligament in his wrist that will likely require surgery and require him to be out for the rest of the season. So we're still gathering more information on that, but that seems to be where it's headed right now.
Zach Taylor now turns to Jake Browning to be the starter for the 5-5 Bengals. Before Thursday night's game, ESPN Bet listed Cincinnati as 12-1 to win the Super Bowl. Now they're 150-1. Ravens tight end Mark Andrews will likely miss the rest of the season with a left ankle injury. Andrews got hurt during that win over the Bengals Thursday night. The NBA plays in-season tournament games tonight, including a doubleheader on ESPN starting at 7:30 Eastern. Spurs against the Kings, followed by the Jazz and the Suns. Phoenix guard Bradley Beal will miss at least the next 3 weeks with a lower back strain. He's missed 8 of the team's first 11 games with that back issue.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, gonna fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot, presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette, and online at alphacustoms.net.
How's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
I have a good idea. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3
The weight pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Theriot around third. He heads for home. Here's the throw. He is safe. Packers win. Packers win. Go.
You're right in front of the camera. We're live right now. We are live right now, and you're standing in front of the camera. T-Bob, go away. As your boss, I'm telling you to go away. How about that? Yeah! Got to use that one live on air. All right, hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We are here at Rouse's Burbank and Lee. T-Bob's here doing his regular Rouse's remote, but we're here for an awesome cause. Tackle hunger, fill the food bank. Benefiting the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank in partnership with Rouse's. And I didn't get to do my Ann Theriot thing. Ann Theriot!
There we go. Yeah, I'm here.
Shaw Bills, we're here. Hey, man, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really excited. So a couple of reasons why primarily.
Okay.
So I love coming here to Rouse's.
I do too.
You look at those cupcakes you got.
Yes.
Oh my God! Can you just tilt those up a little bit? So, those are. Did you have those made or were they already packaged?
This is what you get when you go to the Rouse's Bakery.
Oh my God!
You get things like this. This isn't it though.
The gourmet cupcakes. That's insane.
The restraint that I used only buying these was
no
good.
kidding,
There's a
right?
lot. I'm a big fan of the. They've got a Gentilly cake here at Rouse's that I really enjoy. Then a triple chocolate cake that I really enjoy as well. So yeah, I got cupcakes because it's Friday.
You're showing them, man. You're showing them off.
Is that good?
Oh yeah, good. You did a good job framing that.
Yeah.
For those who are watching. So I'm fired up to be at Rouse's.
Yep.
Fired up to help the food bank. Fired up to see you because we don't really ever see each other anymore except on Fridays.
You tried to see me today.
I did. I called you.
I turned you down.
I was gonna maybe pick up some breakfast and come to the HUDCO office, and you were gone. I just feel like I don't really know you anymore.
I know. We've drifted apart a touch, but I think
it's fall. That's what happens.
Everybody goes through different seasons in their life and relationships. There's an ebb and flow to all that stuff. I think if it was super consistent, it'd be boring. And, I think eventually we'd probably get tired of each other. And we've taken just a bit of a break, not on purpose. But you never know when the thing gets back going again, when we can get that fire back in our relationship.
A spark, maybe?
Yeah.
That flame gets burning again?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to happen later today. The other reason I'm excited is at the end of the show today, Muse, if you could hit me with the music, please. We are going to announce the winner of the Matchelor. As a matter of fact, I'm so excited. So Muse, we're going to find out who Muse is going to the Aqua concert with. Shout out to Live Nation, who generously donated a VIP table for Muse and his date for the Aqua concert at the Fillmore. They're going to Haspel, our guy Will, outfitted Muse.
No.
Yes, Muse went by Haspel and got his outfit.
Okay.
7-3 Distilling, taking him for a ride. Going to pick him up in their Sprinter van, their decked out Sprinter van, bringing him to NOLA.
Right.
And then our buddy Burke Harriman over at the original Harriman's Florist is providing flowers for the date. And you know what he did? He said, "How about this? In honor of the occasion, how about if I give you a couple dozen loose roses that you could just put there on the set?"
Oh my gosh.
And so we got all these, but we're gonna have to go a little less headshot, and so we can get more of the set because we got all these flowers here, all these beautiful roses. What do you think is the best way to lay these out? Just like this.
I would put them. Yeah, I would.
You want to take a few here?
Yeah,
take a few there.
I like roses.
Well, these are beautiful.
We'll put them on
put one right there. I mean, we just got roses for days here now. I'm excited about it here.
I like the roses.
Okay. Look, I mean, the lucky lady is going to win the rose from
So
you,
when are we doing that?
The very last segment. You're going to be gone.
No.
Yeah. Well, you're going to your son's football game, you selfish son of a bugger.
Man.
I mean, you could stay here. Here, put some over there.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's getting the food taken care of. He's getting a ride. He's getting roses and stuff. He's getting a new outfit. And Gordy's giving him $500 spending cash for the date.
Hey, Gordy, we do have to get him dinner. Have you talked to Desi yet about this? I don't think you've talked to Desi yet about this. I think you're assuming that Desi is going to be good with this, but you still have to talk to him first and let him know what's happening. All right, call him right now. There, he's calling him right now. All right, so we're trying to get Muse dinner as well. So anyway, I'm very excited about this. The Matchelor will meet its conclusion here today. We'll find out who Muse has picked. Yes, we're letting Muse pick. Listen, I tried to tell Muse the other day in the hall.
Whoa, he gets to pick?
I tried to tell Muse in the hall the other day that we were going to pick, and he got, really pissed off. I mean, legit wanted to fight pissed off. I'm like, hey, calm down.
It's a blind
fella.
date.
I know.
You can't pick your blind date.
Well, he picked. Anyway, put a few more over there.
Okay.
He picked. So I don't know who he's picked. We'll all find out together tonight on the conclusion of The Matchelor.
I love this.
Oh, it's so good. All right, how's your week going
Week's
anyway?
been good.
Yeah, tell me about your
been
week.
Good. It's
Yeah, tell me about
it. We got a big playoff game tonight that I'm excited about.
How about that?
The Dunham Tigers against the Parkview Eagles, so it ought to be a really good game, a rematch.
This is a house-divided game for the Terrios.
It is.
The Terrio young ladies go to Parkview. Dunham, Houston Terrio plays for the Dunham Tigers.
I'm a coach over there. Mary's the principal of the middle school.
How
Wes
about
is the
that?
baseball coach.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, no, there's action
I don't know
right
what
now.
to do. I don't even know what to do.
So we got that. I'm excited about that. It's been a pretty
This is a lot of roses.
It's a lot of roses.
This is a lot of
700
roses.
roses.
I'm just throwing roses on the table.
What are we doing?
I don't know, man. Look, there's the shot right there. So I'm just trying to fill them up a little bit.
It's cute. So it's been a good week, but I do.
Probably gonna move the cupcakes.
I do have.
Yeah, there we go. Let's fill up this area.
I do have something I'd like to get off my chest.
I would love for you to get something off your chest. Love to hear what's on your chest.
So next week, as everybody knows, is a holiday.
Yeah,
that we
it's
celebrate
Thanksgiving.
here in the United States. The only
Phenomenal
place
day.
that celebrates this holiday.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It's called
maybe
Thanksgiving.
Maybe it's a
and
little true. There we go.
so I wrote a letter to Thanksgiving and all the Thanksgiving nerds out there.
Nerds.
Yeah. Here we go. So it's
You're a nerd.
Dear Thanksgiving nerds. This is a made-up holiday that industry has created to sell more pilgrim outfits and headdresses. Okay? Walmart and Target and Disney have made up this romantic story about a group of struggling colonists and Native Americans coming together over a meal to show love and care for each other. If John Smith and Pocahontas had a relationship, which I highly doubt they did, okay, there's no way that Chief Powhatan,
Oh, you did some research.
that's Pocahontas' dad,
You did some research.
was willing to offer up his daughter to a stranger in a strange land.
I don't know, might have.
No
Different time,
chance.
different era.
The more likely
Arranged
scenario,
marriages
Matt,
and whatnot.
here's the more likely scenario. You ready?
Ready.
The more likely scenario is Pocahontas was kidnapped by the trespassing English soldiers.
So stupid.
The
Pocahontas.
trespassing English soldiers kidnapped Pocahontas, causing the Native Americans to get super pissed, as you know we would be if
Yeah.
they kidnapped
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the hot chief's daughter. The chief's hot
The
daughter.
Chief's hot daughter.
The
yeah,
chief's
the
hot
Chief's
daughter.
hot daughter.
Chief's hot daughter.
Was Pocahontas really hot, though? I feel
well,
like
according to Disney, she
I
was.
think
This
the
whole
Di-
thing's
so
made up.
Disney Pocahontas was a smoke show. Real Pocahontas, I'm gonna get a picture of Pocahontas.
Well, it's a fake
I don't-
story.
I don't-
Thanksgiving is fake, so the whole thing's made up.
I
So
think
the
I think real Pocahontas wasn't actually hot.
no, she was a no, absolutely not.
No. I think real Pocahontas wasn't really a
She's
smoke show.
she
Look,
was tough.
There's look there she is.
Yeah, no.
Look, I mean, real Pocahontas wasn't actually
She
hot.
looks like a ghost. The more likely scenario for Thanksgiving for all you nerds is this. Pocahontas was kidnapped by trespassing English soldiers, causing the Native Americans to get super pissed, resulting in them taking a knife to a gunfight. That's what happened.
Oh. I don't get it.
Well, they went to go fight the English soldiers.
Oh, literally.
They literally went to go take
with knives.
They said, "We want her back. We have knives. You have guns."
Yeah.
And they ended up getting destroyed.
Well, look at Disney Pocahontas. She was a smoke show, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's pretty
Dark complected, little waist.
No, she's good.
They made her look really good.
If you believe in the Thanksgiving story, then you're an idiot and you need to grow up, okay? Thanksgiving is the dumbest thing in the world. Y'all sheep believe the lies of corporate America in order to get more views for the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special.
I love it. So good.
I like the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special, but the whole thing's made up, okay? And don't give me the food is awesome and I get to watch football crap.
But that's the reason.
I don't want to hear, no. You can eat good food and watch football literally every day in the fall, not just on Thanksgiving.
But you get your whole family together and you get a day off of work and all that sort of stuff.
You get day off work on Sunday and Saturday too. There's football then.
No,
Your
but
family can come over then too.
But that's a weekend. That's not a work day. You don't get a day off of work for the weekend. That's a weekend. This is a work day. It's Thursday. Instead of going to work on Thursday, you stay home, spend time with your family. You drink old fashions. You eat fried turkey, some shrimp mirliton.
Which you can do every day of the year.
Not with my family.
With
on
a fake made-up story.
Not with my full.
You sure can.
All of my family
All you gotta do is
together
invite
in one
them.
place. No,
Just gotta invite them.
Because then they all have to take off a day of work.
You can invite them. They can take off a day of work.
And they're
It's
not
made
gonna.
up.
But they're
It's
not
all made
gonna.
up.
But they're
the
not
whole
going
thing's
to take
fake.
off a day of work. This is the point. Everybody gets the day off. It's great.
Who in the hell eats the nasty gelatin cranberry crap in a can?
Not me. That's
Okay.
disgusting, and that should never have any place
And
on it.
why in the world did someone think that that would be a good idea to make that, to
I don't
create that? Cranberry tastes horrible in every form, not just in the can.
Gelatinous blob.
It's
of crap
disgusting.
On a plate.
Adding it to a Jell-O mold makes it even worse.
Terrible. I'm with you on that. We agree on that. That's one thing. Well, I give you a little bit there. We do agree on that. One. You're right.
All right,
You're
look,
right about that.
That's all pretty negative. I don't want to just sit here and just be negative guy. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to tell you a few positives that I've had about Thanksgiving.
Okay, good.
Okay? If you choose to celebrate the near extinction of Native Americans due to superior weapons and smallpox, you should try the turkey. Okay? You should. Not sure why, but that's what's generally done. People eat turkey at Thanksgiving. A good moist fried turkey is phenomenal. My brother Austin and
No
my
doubt.
brother-in-law Michael, shout out.
No doubt.
They do a great job with that. I would recommend Rouse's Market for the Bird. They got some really nice big fat birds in the back. Shout out to Rouse's, do a good job.
The Chop House right there.
Yeah. The sweet potato casserole is one of my favorites. I love that. It's fabulous. I go extra brown sugar and marshmallows on top to really set the thing off.
I mean, I'm kind of annoyed with you right now because now you're talking about all the things that you love, that you enjoy.
I do.
If you're that much of a curmudgeon, then you shouldn't be able to enjoy any Thanksgiving. You should just boycott and stay in your room.
I like green bean casserole as well. I love corn mac choux. Big fan of that. Good side dishes there. And, of course, a good old pecan pie to finish things up. If you choose to partake in Thanksgiving,
Kinda
then
like
you
a
should do
pumpkin
that. I like pumpkin pie as well. I'm not mad at it. I like that with some whipped cream on
You know,
top.
the only kind of pie I don't really like is apple pie.
So I like hot, like warm apple pie.
Yeah.
With a little ice cream on top. I can get down with that.
Pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, pecan pie. There's so many good ones. Apple pie would be like at the bottom of my list.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
And look at me, I'm a fat guy. You know I love sweets. I love sugar. I'm addicted to sugar.
I'm not joking. This whole holiday is made up. I don't know how people have fallen for this for so long. The whole thing is, there's no way that the Indians said, yeah, you know what, you guys come shoot us in the face, give us smallpox, and let's have a meal and celebrate that. That didn't happen. This is all
They were
made
laying
up.
down their arms is what they were doing.
No, it's made up. The whole thing's made up. Kill us all. Come on, yeah, let's celebrate it. You want some turkey? Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Off it. Sincerely, Ryan.
It's after further review. We're here at Rouse's, Burbank and Lee. Come on by and see us. Buy one of these bags of food. Help us tag along or fill the food bank. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. Speaking of the holidays, of course, Christmas is right around the bend.
Now we're talking.
And, yeah.
That's a real holiday.
One of the things that Gordon does every year is he does a bicycle giveaway. And, here's what I encourage you to do. This year, Gordon's given away 488 bicycles to children around the state of Louisiana. Go to GordonGives.com. Again, GordonGives.com, and you'll see where you can enter for the bike giveaway. It's easy. It has the entry periods, all the stuff that you have to do, the giveaway dates, everything. Just go to GordonGives.com. Another way the Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is giving back to the community and helping make Christmas for some young kids all over our state. Of course, from one of Gordon's favorite Christmas memories when he got a red bike on Christmas morning, he's paying that forward. Go to GordonGives.com, GordonGives.com. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Louisville for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
after further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Back here at Rouse's, Burbank and Lee, y'all come on by. Help us tackle hunger, fill the food bank. Also, great deals going on at Rouse's. They got fresh Gulf oysters, 8-ounce, pint, quart, gallon. They got discounts on all of them. You feeling like some oysters?
Yeah, I like oysters.
You want some oysters
I
in
like
your gumbo?
them. I think they taste good.
Do you like oysters in your gumbo?
No, but I think they
Are you
taste
serious?
good. I don't like them in my gumbo.
Man, I love. Erica hates oysters in the gumbo, but the rest of the family loves it. So when Barry, Erica's dad, makes gumbo, makes awesome seafood gumbo. He puts them in there, and then she just doesn't eat them. And so and her mom too. They don't scoop the oysters, so it's more oysters for me.
More for you.
More for me. I love it. Load up the oysters.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I love
that.
Got a big one tonight, huh?
What do we got tonight?
Well, it's Dunham and Parkview high school game. So Theriot's going to bounce after we do our picks at the top of hour 3. Theriot's going to bounce. Got to get over there. I heard parking's a nightmare.
Parking's tough, unless you have the parking pass.
You got a parking pass. That's why you're leaving then.
I got the parking pass. Well, I got a tailgate.
Game's not till 7. You're bailing on our audience to go tailgate for a high school football game?
This is Houston's last home game.
That's true. It is.
Yeah, so I got to be there. We got to get fired up, man. I got to make sure everything's good. I got to get a good seat.
Oh, you.
It's going to be packed.
Oh, you. Y'all have assigned seats or like in reserve seats?
Technically, no. But if you sit in Mary Theriot's seat, she's pissed. So, I mean, we have like a section where we go. Like a couple people sat, and they didn't know. They just got there early. They sat where her and my dad normally sit.
Yeah.
And it was uncomfortable. They ended up moving. But, I mean, she gave them the principal side eye, and it was like.
That's true.
You know
took
what?
the principal seat.
Yeah, let me scoot down. Let me scoot down a little bit.
You know what the people who stole Mary Theriot's seat can do?
What's that?
Kick rocks.
It's time to Kick Rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick Rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick Rocks with shoes from Ruckus, Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge, or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rocks.
Kick Rocks.
Yeah.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks. Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Deshaun Watson broke his shoulder, which really stinks.
That does stink.
He actually had a really good game and was like getting going. Like, okay, he might be back because he was pretty electric there for a little while.
He was that guy in Houston, man.
He was him.
He was him.
He was.
And then he started doing dirty things at massage places.
Yeah, and then karma got him, but he's coming back.
Not great.
He was coming back, and so he broke his shoulder, so he's out for the year, which really stinks. I'm hoping that he has a full recovery and comes back and plays really well. In the meantime, the Browns are working out quarterbacks to take his spot.
Yeah.
They worked out Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I heard about that.
What?
Yeah, Joe Flacco.
Are we serious?
Hey, he won a Super Bowl.
In 1984.
Nope. In 2012 in the Superdome.
In 2012.
Remember that's when Beyonce did the halftime show and all the lights went out? That was that Super Bowl. They beat the 49ers.
In 2012.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Browns just can't seem to get this thing right. There's got to be something. What's Joe Flacco doing right now? There's no way he's in football shape, ready to go.
Well, all right. In fairness, was Joe Flacco ever in football shape?
No, that's true.
I mean, he's just a 6'7" pylon that just stands there and throws the football.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
I don't think he really needs to get in shape.
It's not the Joe Flacco thing. Not gonna work.
It's like just stand there and throw it.
Yeah, they can kick.
Kick rock. Kick rock.
So more details.
Oh, I knew my hug. I remembered it. I knew there was.
Okay, good.
I remember it. Okay. Yep.
More details are emerging on the Michigan sign stealing.
So glad that just came back into my brain. Thank you. All right. Yeah. More details.
More details are emerging in the Michigan sign stealing scandal. The guy that was actually doing the stealing, like any good criminal would do, covered his tracks. There's no paper trail, so he did a good job with that.
Good for him.
But it's pretty obvious now that more people knew about this than we thought. So I do want to tell Michigan to kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Shooters, and
kick rocks.
I just hope Harbaugh does not coach at Texas A&M next year.
Oh, no, he'll go to the NFL.
Oh, so he's going to the NFL. He's not going to A&M.
Oh, no, he's getting out of college.
He's
if he leaves Michigan,
He's leaving Michigan.
If he leaves Michigan, he's going to the NFL.
Okay.
For sure. For sure.
Okay, so he's
He's definitely not leaving Michigan for another college job.
He's
No
done
way.
with it.
No.
Okay.
No. He's going to the NFL.
Can you steal
NFL.
signs? Can you steal signs legally in the NFL?
Well, you can't video. Remember that was the whole Spygate thing.
They videoed.
Remember the Patriots? They were videoing other teams' practices.
Yeah,
that was Spygate.
That's cheating. Okay. And then the last one, I don't know what's going on, but it rained last week.
Yes.
All of you guys that forgot how to drive in the rain can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Primarily around my house in this general area right here. I have seen more little fender bender, this and that. I mean, it's every day. Just because there's a little water on the road, I feel like I'm in Arizona now. Just go slow down, be defensive. You drive defensive. Your car's not going to accelerate or stop like I did as if it were dry. Okay, this hasn't been that long since we've done this, people.
Do you realize technology in the year of our Lord 2023 on automobiles and tires is such that you don't really need to change the way you drive at all?
Well, you need to be defensive.
That's fine, but just because it's raining, you're not going to hydroplane across 7 lanes of traffic. Just drive. You're actually being more. This drives me crazy. You've ridden with me as well.
With the flashing lights and
honking the horn. There is not a single. Well, by the way, it is illegal. It is illegal.
Listen to this statement.
It is illegal to drive with your hazard lights on.
Say it again.
It is illegal to drive with your hazard lights on.
Stop.
Your hazard lights are intended for when your vehicle is stationary, middle of a lane, side of the road, then you turn your hazards on. You don't drive with your hazards on, you nincompoop. That's why you have lights on the vehicle, so the car ahead can see hazards while you drive is actually illegal. So when you're driving, don't put your hazards on, moron.
So stupid. You got a hug.
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
Okay, Muse, you can kill the music. I want to give a hug. I'm serious about this. This is not a plug. I'm very serious. I want to give a hug to you and to Mac Chiwilli and to Eddie Parfait and to everybody at Traction who has done an incredible job for our community over the last, when did Mac open? 20 years? And continue to grow it and remade a property on Burbank that was, I don't want to say defunct, but wasn't being occupied, and you invested millions of dollars into that facility, and you turfed those fields, and you have an amazing PT clinic there as well. And I knew this was happening for a long time, but we obviously couldn't say it for a lot of reasons. But this week it was announced that Our Lady of the Lake bought a 40% stake in Traction. So that is phenomenal, and there's some great things I know coming for Traction, NOL, LOL. I know you're an owner, and so this isn't a plug for, and Traction sponsors the show, but this isn't a plug for that. It's a great success story, but it's also done, it's a partnership that is going to be looking to take our community forward as far as healthcare and sports performance and nutrition, a lot of things. So seriously, congratulations. I know that was a long process to get it across the finish line. So when I saw the news this week that you all had finished the deal and announced it, I was very, very excited.
Well, it's, obviously it's something that can help our business. But more importantly, the city of Baton Rouge, our community, surrounding areas, we will now be able to provide something that's not provided anywhere else in the country. Traction was formed to provide an elite service to youth athletes, and I think we've done that.
Yes.
Now we've taken it a step further from the medical side, and who better to partner with than Our Lady of the Lake? A pillar in our community. Wonderful organization, and we're just really excited for some of the stuff that's coming, you guys. I mean, it's going to be amazing. If you have a young athlete in the greater Baton Rouge area, surrounding areas, buckle up, because there's going to be some really cool stuff coming.
That's awesome. I'm very happy for you, sincerely excited, and for all. Congrats to Mac and to you. We joke. It's funny because the voice, if you're listening and you hear Kick Rocks and you hear the Kick Rocks, that's Mac Chiwilli's voice. Like, the Kick Rocks thing is something that Mac says all the time. And so we started that segment 10 years ago, and I got Mac just to record that on his phone. I mean, that's what those drops are that you hear. Muse, play one real quick. Play one of the Kick Rocks drops, please.
Kick Rocks. Kick rock.
Like, that's Matchelor.
That's him.
That's the guy that the founder, CEO of Traction, who, you know, just sold 40% of the business to OLOL. Huge partnership. Been awesome. So anyway, and it's the guy yelling kick rocks.
That's him. Yep.
All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us here. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, LSU Hoops got a win. We'll touch on that briefly. Some really good news for LSU football as it continued to trend in a positive direction here with 2 weeks to go. We'll get into all that. We're here at Rouse's, and glad to have you hanging out. It's AFR.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James and Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
Darren is a wonderful realtor and a great person. I really enjoyed working with Darren. When I had a question, he was always there with the answer. He was available and happy to help. What I liked about Darren was he worked for me in my best interest. It's a good feeling to have Darren representing you. He's the best realtor, has a great team. I highly recommend him. That was a 5-star review from Laura, and Laura's experience is like my experience and like the experience of so many in the greater Baton Rouge area. Do you realize that the Wall Street Journal puts out its list of the top 1% of realtors in America every year, the Real Trends list? This year, Darren was number 54 in the country on that list. He's right here in Baton Rouge. Agent225.com, agent225.com. If you need a realtor, you need the best, you need Darren James. You can call Darren James today or log on to agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we're featuring 2023 Toyota Tundras with $2,000 bonus cash. $2,000 bonus cash offer on Toyota Tundras. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on all new 23 Ford F-150 Black Widow trucks, plus $2,750 discount APR and 5.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
This game up. If nobody don't know you, I'ma make y'all famous. It's 24 carats, but it shine like stainless. Just look at how the diamonds compliment my fame.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
The first of the 1-and-1 is off. Sissoko skies for the rebound. Jones up the backcourt. Drives into the lane, gets bumped off by Wright, but the shot blocked by Baker. Horn sounds, and this one's in the books. LSU gets the victory over North Texas.
That was Colin Lacey on the call for the LSU Sports Radio Network. LSU beats North Texas in the Charleston Classic today, 62-66 after the Tigers lost a day ago. A rough one where, boy, they led by 15 with 9 minutes to go, blew the lead, and gave up a three-pointer at the with about 3 seconds left to drop that game to Dayton a day ago. But Tigers came back this morning, and they beat the North Texas Mean Green by 4, 66-62. Good to get off the schneid there. Here was Matt McMahon after the win.
We needed it in the worst way, and I was really proud of our players. I thought their response was terrific. Disappointing way to lose, but as we talked last night, we had about a 16-hour turnaround, find out what we're about as competitors and if we're going to be able to come together and build a team, and I thought our guys really responded well. We went down 5 there in the second half, and they had all the momentum, and I thought we really could have splintered there, and I thought the leadership of our guys like Will Baker and Derek Fountain and Mwani Wilkinson really kept everyone connected so we could find a way to win.
I know nobody's locked in on LSU basketball right now.
Nobody is. I watched it, though, last night.
You watched the game?
Or yesterday. Was it yesterday?
When they lost to Dayton?
Yeah, I watched it.
Nobody's locked in on them. I get it. You can't lose to Nichols and have people care, especially when you're picked to finish second to last in the conference. But I felt it was nice to see him get this win because you don't want it to spiral, and they have some opportunities coming up for games they can win. They got some challenges. They'll play Kansas State. They're going to play Texas. They're going to play at Syracuse. So they got some opportunities coming ahead, but it was nice to see him get a win today. Will Baker at 16-6 for the Tigers. Jordan Wright, the transfer from Vanderbilt, at 12-6. Dunham kid.
What we got another Dunham.
Carlos Stewart didn't score today. He was over 5 from the floor, but in 24 minutes, which he's going to score for this team, but didn't today. Derek Fountain at 14 off the bench.
So I watched Derek Fountain. I like Derek Fountain. I thought he did a good job. What's the guy's name? The guard that looks like he should be Hannibal. Looks like he should be playing football.
Yeah,
the
stocky kid. Yeah. 4 points today.
Man, I watched it yesterday. It was so funny. Like, what is he, 30?
That's right. He transferred in from South Carolina.
How is he still playing? How is he still allowed to play? He looks like he's somebody's grandfather.
Yeah, the COVID. Just blame it on the COVID year. Wow. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Was there earlier today. Got my blood labs. See?
Oh man.
You see, I got a little bruise right there. I took my blood labs. No, I'm fine. Yeah, but go in a couple weeks and get the lab results, and encourage you all the time. Go get your lab work done. Let them take a look at your blood labs and see if you're a candidate for HRT, or maybe it's not HRT, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's high cholesterol. Maybe it's something else that they find in your blood work. It's important to take those proactive steps for your health. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana can help you look and feel like your younger self. Learn more online, theantiagingclinics.com. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. That's where I was earlier. I finished there, and then I was calling you at the HUDCO office to see if you want to go to breakfast, and you shot me down. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador DeCaffrey and Lafayette are online, theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. What did you think of Jayden last week? We haven't talked about it yet with you.
I thought it was, to me, the most impressive game he's played all year. Man, when he got in the open field, I felt like he was – I know he's gained weight and gotten bigger, but I felt like he was just so much more physical and mature this year than he was last year. Like, he took off and started running. The one thought in my mind was, like, Cam Newton. Like, he's big now. Like,
he's not big like Cam Newton.
He's not big like Cam Newton, but he's not frail, and you look like – yeah, he's a good college player, but he ain't going to be able to play in the NFL. I didn't think that last week. He physically looked great. Obviously, he had a great game. We all know that. But man, I was really impressed, man. He's the most impactful player in college football up to this point for sure.
And it's really no matter what you look at, right? I mean, if you look at statistically, the player in college football that is accounting for the most yards per game is Jayden Daniels. Now, he's third in passing yardage behind Michael Penix and Caleb Williams right now. He's about 400 yards behind Michael Penix, who's going to play this weekend against Oregon State. But when you look at total yards, Jayden Daniels is leading the country. He's one of the most efficient players. But outside of just those metrics, Pro Football Focus updates every week their grades, like the top graded player at every position, week by week. So this week, through 10 games already, 11 weeks, I guess 12 if you include week 0. Jayden Daniels is the highest graded quarterback by Pro Football Focus in the Power 5. So it's not just like he's stat compiling. He's got a grade of 94.6. Not only is he the highest graded quarterback, he's the highest graded passer at 91.9. He's also the highest graded rusher in college football.
Not quarterback, rusher?
Rusher.
Oh, wow.
Jayden Daniels' rushing grade is a 92.1. The highest graded running back is Audric Estime from Notre Dame at 91.5. So Jayden Daniels is the highest graded passer and the highest graded rusher in college football.
I wonder if that's ever been done.
Well, got a couple weeks to go still, but I mean, we've said it a bunch, but you're just running out of superlatives. And I think the reason we continue to stress it and emphasize it is I know I feel this way. There's a general, I think, concern. This may be the right word. I don't that because the team has 3 losses, Jayden's individual performance is going to get overlooked, and Bo Nix is going to win the Heisman. I mean, to say it just flatly, I think that's most everyone's fear here. That because Bo Nix is the quarterback, a very good player.
Oh, you're having a great year, good player, good team.
All that stuff.
Yep.
Jayden's going to, over the next 2 games, he is going to have to continue to be extraordinary. Because he's going to have to, what's going to have to happen, I would love to see Bo Nix and Oregon lose somewhere along the way and him play very poorly because that would make it very obvious. But the other thing that's going to have to happen is Jayden is going to have to distance himself so greatly from the other Heisman candidates that it's just obvious.
Yeah, that the 3 losses don't matter.
And that's what that's really his opportunity.
Well, let me say this. Even if he doesn't win the Heisman, which I think we all think he should, national media is starting to take notice of what this guy's been doing. We've watched, I don't know where Burrow was going into the year that he went off from a draft projection standpoint.
He was a late round pick.
Meteoric rise.
Yes, absolutely.
Jayden Daniels, second day, third round, fourth round, maybe. Quarterbacks always slip too, so maybe he even goes a little bit later.
We talked to Luke Easterling, a draft analyst on the show yesterday, who said, I asked him point blank coming into the season, where did you have Jayden? And he said, early, a day 3 pick.
Yeah. Round,
so rounds, 4 through 7.
4 through 7.
So somewhere in there,
So he's made himself a ton of money.
Yeah.
I think because I do think he's a first round talent. He's a middle to late first round, early second round, just depending on how the draft goes. He's made himself a ton of money. He's given himself a great opportunity to get on a team, play in the NFL. And no matter what happens, we're witnessing an amazing season by a guy.
So just let me – the examples that most everybody points out where you're doing a comparative thing is RG3 in 2011 as a 3-loss quarterback, and then Lamar Jackson in 2016. So if you look at RG3 in 2011 – he threw for 4,293, so just under 4,300 yards. Andrew Luck finished second that year. Luck threw for 3,500 yards. So RG3 threw for 800 more yards in that season than did Andrew Luck. So that was obviously a big part of it. You had a wide gap in their production. In 2016, Lamar Jackson threw for 3,500 yards. Now, Deshaun Watson was second, threw for 4,500. So Deshaun Watson threw for 1,000 more yards than Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson ran for 1,600 yards that year. Yeah. So he threw for less yards, but he had the rushing total as well. So for Jayden, I honestly think, he's right now he's at 3,164 passing yards. Okay, he's got 2 games left. He'll have a bowl game. Remember, those stats all include bowl stats, but Jayden's at 3,164. Let's assume he throws for an average of 300 yards in the next 2 games, gets to 3,800 yards, right? He's not going to go over 4,000 in the regular season.
Right.
But if Jayden is able to get his rushing total over 1,000, I think that's the thing that could be really his differentiator.
Where is he right now?
So he's at 3,164 passing. and right now he's at 918 rushing. So it's very, look, I mean, when you run for 220 like he did last week and 160 the week before, it's catapulted his numbers. But if Jayden goes over 1,000 yards rushing, if he's at 4,000 passing and 1,000 rushing, that's going to be such a compelling statement because for whatever reason, like psychologically in our brain, you see the 1,000 yards rushing from a quarterback and you go, boom.
Yep.
Like, oh, my God. You know, it's like I think RG3 maybe ran for 800 yards in that Heisman season, which is incredible for a quarterback. But it's not 1,000. And you clear the 1,000-yard mark, and I think psychologically that would be huge. So really, you need Jayden to go out and push to go over 4,000 passing. But, you know, if he goes over 100 yards rushing in this game and gets to 1,000 on the season and maybe gets to 11 or 1,200 yards, depending on what he does against Texas A&M, I think that could be the thing. That's what he needs. It's what he's got to continue to stack a pile. So, I mean, we all know he's got to put up stats, but that's just putting some context and maybe some definition around what you have to look for if you're Jayden. So, all right, it is after further review. We're here at Rouse's. Theriot's going to bounce after our pick'em segment. Houston's in the high school football playoffs tonight, so senior year pulling for Hugh and the Dunham Tigers. Good luck to Parkview as well. I mean, good luck to all the high school teams, but obviously we got a little bias here. But in any event, so Theriot will be here. We'll do Ask Ryan when we come back. So get your questions in for Theriot. Email us, tweet us, text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, or you could always email as well, Matt at 1045ESPN.com. We'll do Ask Ryan to wrap up the hour next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com, ONE1hourbr.com. Hey, I told you about this yesterday, but it's a really cool thing that River City's 1 Hour Air is doing. They're adopting 3 families for Christmas and going to support those families to provide a great Christmas for their children. So if you have a friend or know a family in need, you can email Christmas at onehourbr.com. That's Christmas at onehourbr.com. Or you can go to any of their social media, River City's 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating on Facebook. I shared the post yesterday. I'll make sure we share it on the ESPN page as well if you want to see it. But again, they're going to adopt 3 families this year and make their Christmas merry and bright from River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Relentless reporting gets results.
I'm never going to stop until we get the answers you need.
Uncovering more as the powerful try to cover things up.
What happens in the dark will always come to light.
Founding new principles and practices for the state of Louisiana.
Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto.
Chris Nakamoto and the Investigative Unit. Recipients of Columbia University's prestigious DuPont Award.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Louisville for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Running Boards marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We're here at Rouse's. Burbank and Lee, their Tackle Hunger Fill the Food Bank promotion coming to Rouse's. You'll see the brown paper bags. It's filled with items, $5, $10. Grab a bag, bring it to the register. You pay for it.
AFR.
AFR brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com, ShawbillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. Hey, you know when it rains out there and people drive crazy?
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, well, it rains and people get really scared and nervous and they go slow. Like, you want to know how to be confident on the road when it rains?
How?
Have great tires.
That would help.
Do you know where you get great tires at the best price possible? Shawbills.
Sure.
ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills is the home of the Charlie's Dozen. It's a dozen benefits extended to you and every vehicle in your family whenever you buy your tires at Shawbills. Go to the website. You can learn about Charlie's Dozen, like free tire rotations, free tire repairs, balancing for the life of the tires. Great thing like that they just do for free. Why?
Yeah. Because that's just what they do.
It's what they do.
They
it's
love,
how you're
because
supposed
they love
to
you.
treat them. They do. They treat you like family at
they love
Shawbills. ShawbillsTire.com. Shout out to Martin over at Shawbills.
Oh, I love
Miss
Martin.
Beth. Great
He's
people. ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can lock in the low rate of 3.99% on a Toyota Highlander. That's right, 3.99%. Lock in your low rate while you still can. At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow will miss the rest of the season with a torn ligament in his right wrist that will likely need surgery. ESPN has learned the NFL is investigating why Burrow wasn't on the injury report this week. The team posted a video 2 days ago showing Burrow with a soft cast on that wrist. Michigan linebackers coach Chris Partridge is fired today. ESPN's Heather Dinich reports the NCAA has taken over the Michigan investigation.
It is now in the NCAA's hands. The Big Ten and Tony Petitti reserve the right, though, to
have further implications or punishments on Michigan if more evidence emerges. But right now, the Big Ten is not actively reviewing any evidence. This is in the NCAA's hands.
Heather Dinich on Get Up. ESPN's Pete Thamel reports information from the investigation led to Partridge's firing and the acceptance of head coach Jim Harbaugh's 3-game suspension. Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Bucks will play tonight against the Hornets. He missed Wednesday's game against the Raptors with a right calf strain.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride. You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again. Guess who's back? Back again.
Lisa, I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour, presented by ProCharge EV. Call 225-397-4593 or go to ProChargeEV.com.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
Let me find out that ain't your real booty meat.
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We're here at Rouse's on Burbank and Lee for Tackle the Hunger. Fill the food bank. Come on by. When you walk in, you'll see the brown paper bags filled with $5 or $10 worth of goods for the food bank. Bring it up to the cash register, pay for it, dump it in the barrel, and you're helping feed the hungry here during the holiday season. Muse Pauly back in studio. Theriot's here with us just for one more second. The order of business here is for us to get through our pick'em. Bill Bender will be with us coming up in 15 minutes from right now. Talk some college football. Muse Pauly and I will get to what to watch at the bottom of the hour. Also, Brian Kelly with some very interesting comments about how he plans to continue building the roster forward, basically their roster management strategy. We'll get to that at the bottom of this hour as well. But the issue at hand, it's time for our pick'em. Hit me with some music, Muse, if you would. All right, we are on location, so I can't see the graphic. So, Pauly, if you would, put the graphic up on screen. And you're going to have to let us know, Muse or Pauly, one of you, open up your mics and let us know how we did last week and what our overall records are.
So Matt, you went 7-2 last week. 7-2 last week. Theriot 6-4. Theriot 6-4.
Why only? Wait, you said I went 7-2. That's 9 games.
I'm sorry. You went 7-3. My bad. Sorry. You went 7-3. I need to update the graphic.
No, 7-2 is good.
I need to update the graphic.
Wait, are you sure? Wait. Are you sure? Are you sure it was 7-3 or was it 8-2?
No, I'm positive. No, it was 7-3. I'm positive. No, it was 7-3.
7-3.
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting jobbed right there. I'm getting hosed.
No.
Pauly's cheating now for you.
No.
You even got him cheating for you.
Pauly does not cheat.
Anyway, all right. So I gained a game on you last week. All right. So what's our overall standings?
Overall, Matt, you were 75-40. 75-40. Theriot 70-45. 70-45.
All right. So I got a 5-game lead on you with 2 to go.
I don't know if it's possible.
Of course it's possible.
Okay. All right, this might be the week that I make a jump.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, tonight, Colorado, Coach Prime. Yeah. Got to win the last 2 games to get to bowl eligibility. Colorado on the Palouse against Washington State. I'm going first?
Yeah.
So
who you got?
Stupid. I'm going with Wazoo. I think they get it done at home.
I'm going to pick Colorado.
Okay, going with Coach Prime. Louisville at Miami. Louisville ranked 10th in the country.
No, they're good.
Yeah,
they're a good team. Good
8-2. Miami 6-4. Miami at home. Miami should be undefeated at home this year.
They should be. They
Georgia,
found ways to lose games.
Well, the Georgia Tech game, where they should have just taken the knee and didn't. But I think Miami gets it done at home against Louisville. It was a much different team at home than on the road.
Give me Louisville.
All right.
That's 2 I picked up. All right, what's next?
Utah at Arizona. The Utes at the Wildcats.
Yeah, you got Utah.
I am going to I don't feel great about this because
Really?
Utah's on their third quarterback, and they've not been great on the road, but I am going to take Utah over Arizona.
Yeah, me too.
You going Arizona?
Utah.
You're going Utah? Okay. I thought you were just going to pick against me.
Utah.
Georgia, ranked number 1 in the country
They are.
after pounding Ole Miss. They go on the road to take on the Tennessee Vols on Rocky Top. Do the Vols upset number 1, or do the Bulldogs maintain their perch?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm going to take the Georgia Bulldogs.
Me too.
Russ told you last week, got to take some flyers.
I know. I've taken 2.
I think it's why
I'm not going to take 10.
you picked Rutgers last
I
week.
picked
It's so
Rutgers.
stupid.
What an idiot.
How about this? North Carolina on the road at Clemson.
Ooh.
North Carolina ranked. Clemson's a touchdown favorite at home. What that? Unranked Clemson, a touchdown home favorite.
You always pick those guys, too.
I do. Clemson.
You're going Clemson. Give me North Carolina.
All right, you're going with UNC. It's an auto play for me. We've talked about it before. Unranked team favored over a ranked team is an auto play for me. There's a couple of those this weekend. So Miami is one of those. Clemson is one of those. How about UCLA at USC? The best jersey game in all of college football.
doubt.
Both teams get to wear their home uniforms. So the beautiful blue from UCLA, the red, the cardinal red from USC. So the Bruins and the Trojans. I'm going to take USC at home.
Yeah, me too.
Where that Chip Kelly could be fired. It's so odd.
Is he an offensive guy?
Yeah, but they have a great defense. UCLA actually has a really good defense. But they're down a couple quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's going to get fired. He's done.
UCLA is going to put up a ton of yards and points on USC because USC's defense stinks. They're basically LSU. But I think USC is going to score more with Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Who are you going with?
USC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Kansas State at Kansas.
So this is an interesting one for me.
Really?
It really is.
Why?
Because I think Kansas is going to win, but I'm not going to pick them just yet.
I'm taking K-State.
Where's the game at?
In Lawrence at Kansas.
Man, I like Kansas. I like the quarterback a lot. I think he's really fast.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick them.
All right, you're going with Kansas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Florida is at Mizzou. I'm going to go ahead with Mizzou in that one. I think Florida stinks, and Mizzou's offense is pretty good.
Yeah, I do too.
You're going Florida?
No.
You're going Mizzou?
Missouri.
Okay. This one we may have disagreement on. Oh, no. Oh, look at you.
Maybe.
Washington at Oregon State. It's the marquee game of the college football weekend. Oregon State, Phil Steele shared the statistic with us. Incredible team at home. I'm riding with the Beavers to hand Washington their first loss of the year.
It's at Washington State?
It's at Oregon State. Washington's at Oregon State.
Oregon State?
The Beavers. Reser Stadium. 35,000 proud.
That's it?
That's it. And last year it was like 15,000 because one half of they were renovating the stadium, so they didn't use one half of the stands. Yeah. Just like, seriously.
I
think Memorial Stadium held more people than Reser
100%.
Stadium did last year.
I want Washington to lose really bad.
I know.
So let me pick the other guys.
Oregon State, okay. Yeah. And then we got LSU against Georgia State, which I don't know, it feels kind of stupid to pick that one, but we pick the LSU game every week. We picked it when they played Army. We picked it when they played.
Yeah.
All right, so who are you going with?
LSU.
Oh, okay. All right, there we go.
So hold on, I got a chance here.
So you've got, not to make up 5, but you pick different than 1, 2, 3, 4. We disagree in 4.
Man,
you got to make up some ground.
That would make for an interesting final week.
It would indeed. And by the way, I'm giving you the games beforehand too. So no, I don't want any.
No, you did. Thank you. No, I appreciate it.
every year. I
appreciate. I wish I'd have had them 90 games before that, but it's all good.
So stupid. You know the games we pick. Okay, I know you got to go. Good luck to the Dunham Tigers.
That's right.
Number 40, Houston Theriot. Shout out. Big Hugh, get up there. Give me a few sacks tonight.
A couple sacks.
You think he's going to hit the LeBron?
I hope not. We don't want celebration. We don't want a celebration penalty.
I hope so. God, I want to hit the LeBron so bad.
But he gets fired up and he just can't contain himself.
How about, I remember 6th grade Houston Theriot at St. Jude School scored a touchdown in the end zone. He spikes the ball and hits the LeBron.
And got ejected out of the game because it was his second personal foul. I'm like, bro, you can't do that.
He's such a beauty.
Oh, man. What a pearl.
Woo, man, all right. I know you got to get out of here. Thank you for coming as always. Ryan Theriot. Go Houston Theriot. Go Dunham Tigers tonight. Good luck to all the teams, all the high school teams. But obviously, we hope Houston plays well. All right, it's after further review. We're here at Rouse's on Burbank and Lee. Come on, help us tackle hunger and fill the food bank with Rouse's. Stick around here. Bill Bender of the Sporting News is next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel. You know, right now it's 5:11 p.m. Central Time. You know where the LSU football team is?
They're over at the hotel.
The Renaissance Hotel. If the Renaissance Hotel, right there on Bluebonnet, is big enough to be able to accommodate the entire LSU football program, players, coaches, support staff, personnel, handle their full team meals in the grand ballroom, individual position group meetings in smaller rooms, enough rooms throughout the hotel for everybody. You think it's good enough to host your next corporate event?
Yeah.
Or private event, fundraising event, whatever it may be?
Plenty good enough.
It's the Renaissance Hotel. Call my friend Allison Crump over at the Renaissance. She handles all the booking and all the events over there. And, of course, Tallulah is a great spot to have dinner or a glass of wine, cocktail, a whiskey. It's Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel. The Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet. Get on by and see our friends today at the Renaissance Hotel.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Louisville for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Running Bart's marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Board's marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, back here from Rouse's on the corner of Burbank and Lee in Baton Rouge. here for Tackle Hunger, fill the food bank. Remember, come on by, grab one of the brown paper bags, bring one of them up to the cash register, $5 or $10 options, and all of the contents in those bags go to help fill the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, help our friends and neighbors in need here during this Thanksgiving week and this holiday season. The Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank with us here at Rouse's and Guarantee Media. Bill Bender, our buddy from the Sporting News, good enough to join us here on a Football Friday edition of AFR. Bill, it's always great to chat, man. How are you? I don't hear Bill. All right, Bo, I don't hear Bill. Did he hang up? All right, I don't hear Bill. So why don't you try to call him back or see whatever we can do. All right, remote broadcasts. What a joy. That's going over the air. Turn it down. Remote broadcasts. What a joy. All right. It's after further review. We're glad to have you here with us. We're trying to reconnect with Bill Bender there, and I will get to here in just a smidge what Brian Kelly had to say on Thursday when meeting with the media about how he's looking to build forward his roster. So we'll get to that here in just a quick second after we chat with Bill Bender. Let's see if we can connect. Let's see if we can connect with Bill. Come on, we're live on air. Come on, let's go. Is he there? Bill, you got me? Hey, Bill, you got us? I don't have him. Just hang up. It's okay. No worries. We'll pass. All right, it's after further review. We'll see if we can connect with Bill another day. Don't worry about it, Bo. Let Bill know. We'll try it another day. All right, it's after further review. Apologies for that. Sometimes remotes and tech doesn't go as we play. It's tough. Different elements. So we'll just move on. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us here. Brian Kelly met with reporters yesterday, and it was interesting because obviously you're playing Georgia State, and if you have a different opponent, the line of questioning and all of the conversation is just going to be different. I mean, you're going to be focused on the game and all the points in that game that make it meaningful, right? I mean, last week against Florida, it was LSU coming off a loss. It was trying to win 5 in a row against the Gators. It was Graham Mertz and that Florida offense, which looked so good at times against lesser competition, and obviously they moved the ball against the LSU defense. But Jayden Daniels was spectacular. You play Georgia State, and it's a 31-point spread. It's just that we're focusing on different things. But it was interesting when Brian Kelly started talking about the roster with 2 games to go, and obviously we're nearing the early signing period. And with respect to how he's building the roster, he discussed what the number one goal is, his top priority right now with the roster. Give a listen.
Last year it was a heavy acquisition. It was freshman recruiting and then retention. Retention is goal 1 now in year 2 for us. Player development and then acquisition through the transfer portal.
So understand how things were prioritized when Brian Kelly was here. So, when I heard that, I was immediately reminded of what he said in the preseason. When Brian Kelly was asked, about if this team was a championship contender, and he said point blank, we're a year away. We have really good players, think our starters are good, but depth was a problem, and he thought he was a year away. And listen, I talked about that here on the show, and I disagreed flatly because offensively, I felt they were going to be really good. I didn't think they'd be this good, but I thought they'd be really good. And defensively, I thought they had made they had obviously added on the defensive line where they were thin. You added an Omar Spates. You had Harold Perkins, who we were all really optimistic about moving inside. And then you're going to be thin at linebacker. And then when you looked at the secondary, you basically rinsed and repeated what you did a year ago. And part of the convo was, well, you got younger, you probably got more talented, right? A year ago, you had veteran players, Mekhi Gardner, Jarpin Converse, Jay Ward. You got younger this year, but the thought was more talented. I mean, Denver Harris was a 5-star. Zy Alexander was an FCS All-American. Deuce Chestnut was a All-ACC player. So we thought, okay, you don't have the guys that have played 4 or 5 years of college football like Joe Fouché, but you got more talented guys. Well, that's gone bust, clearly. Secondary's gone bust. So, but whereas the portal was the focus the first 2 years, really, now he's telling you retention. And it's very direct because look at what they did a year ago. When they went into the portal, they didn't get 1-year guys. They didn't go get Joe Fouché and Jarpin Converse and guys that were only going to be 1-year stopgap players. They decided to go get younger players out of the portal. So all those guys you signed a year ago can all come back. I'm not just talking about the secondary. Now, obviously, Omar Spates is out of eligibility, and there are some of those examples. But, you know, when you look at Jordan Jefferson, he could come back. Paris Shan could come back. Braden Swinson could come back. I'm talking mostly about the defensive guys because that's where they heavily focused. But Logan Diggs could come back for another year. Aaron Anderson. So now what Brian Kelly's telling you is it's not so much go get a whole bunch of numbers out of the portal. It's retain the players that you have on the roster because you've built the foundation now for 2 years. Retain these guys. Don't have massive roster turnover again. Retain these guys. Continue developing the players you have, and then supplement with the portal. Supplement on the top. So he was then asked, okay, well, then how, if your goal is retain players, if your goal is retention, how do you do that?
Developing a program where players thrive within your culture. And so retention is their want and desire to be there. And then you have to add, certainly opportunities like I can develop here. I can see myself, playing here and developing to where I could maybe take this game to the next level. You have to look at NIL opportunities as a piece of that retention. So all of those now have to be part of a bigger vision as it relates to retention.
Creating the desire to be here is creating culture. Do players want to be at LSU? And that's why a huge part of what they're doing very clearly is continuing to recruit the state of Louisiana. This isn't a new thing. I'm not breaking news here, but it's something we've talked about a lot, and it's been the heavy focus of recruiting the state, not just in the portal, which they've done, clearly. I mean, you all know the list of players that they've gotten, and it's been a focus of Brian Kelly's to say we're going to go get players from the state of Louisiana who left and then bring them to LSU. And Logan Diggs this year is a great example of that. Aaron Anderson is a great example of that. Last year, Jark Bernard-Converse, Greg Brooks, Joe Fouché, Mekhi Garner, you get it. So players that have a desire to be here, which he's already doing a great job of, but then also think about the high school ranks. Earlier this week, we talked about the 2 defensive back players that LSU had committed that decommitted, with Andre Evans out of Tennessee and Kai Bates out of the state of Florida. Well, I don't know how much more plainly I could say this. I mean, I could beat around the bush, but because I'm on a roll, I'm just going to say it. Like, LSU purged those kids out of the class. And you can think what you want, and you could disagree or say it's sour grapes because an LSU decommitted. Like, I'm not guessing on this one. Like, Frank Wilson is focused on recruiting kids that are primarily from this state. And I said it, like, you can throw a rock in the state of Louisiana and hit a 3-star cornerback. You don't need to go to Nashville or Las Vegas to get a 3-star cornerback. Go to friggin' Warren Easton, and there's, Wallace Foster is right there. I mean, just like go watch Dunham and Parkview tonight. Go watch Catholic High. You're gonna see 3 stars all over every high school football field in this state. It's one of the great benefits of being in the state. So, yes, I mean, the desire to be here is huge. The opportunity to develop, which you're seeing, and Brian Kelly has that great track record. We talk about it primarily with offensive linemen, tight ends, but now look at Jayden Daniels coming back this year and what that's meant for him. The NIL piece is something else Brian Kelly mentioned, which I'm not going to say NIL will take care of itself because to a degree that's true for some players. Like Jayden Daniels has national deals with Beats, with Powerade. He's got these opportunities because he's a potential Heisman winner, right? So that opportunity isn't going to be there for every player, but the more you win, the more you get buy-in and continue to build your collective, you're going to have those NIL opportunities for players. So it's not the whole thing, but it's got to be a legitimate piece of what you're building. So, it's, as Brian Kelly said in that first bite, it's retention now. It's retention, player development, and then transfer portal. Well, how do you retain people? You get people who want to be here. You show them how you're going to develop them, and then also show them the NIL opportunities. Something that we talked about last week that we clipped it and put it on social media, and it spread like wildfire, had a lot of virality to it, was Brian Kelly in year 3. And when you look at each of the places that he's been prior, not counting Grand Valley State, but since he left Grand Valley State and started each program, if it was Central Michigan and then Cincinnati and then Notre Dame, each of those stops, year 3 was his big takeoff year. Year 3 at Central Michigan is where he won double digits. Year 3 at Cincinnati is where they went undefeated. Year 3 at Notre Dame, they went 12-0 and played for the national championship against Notre Dame. So the question was asked of Brian Kelly, well, how have you been so successful? And remember, Like we said, before the year, Brian Kelly said, point blank, next year. We need another year. So why has year 3 been so successful? Here's what Brian Kelly said.
The third year, wherever I've been, is probably a comfort level where everybody from the night cleaning crew here to, the freshman that's in the program for 6 months to the transfer student, everybody knows what the standard is. And so, that creates a synergy within your program that everybody's pulling in the same direction. There's no need to be slowed down by some that are not on the same page. Everybody's working in the same direction, and we're getting really close to that, finishing up this year. As we go into the off season, there'll be great momentum going into year 3.
You could look and say, I'm going to get it, but you're going to lose Jayden Daniels. And that's true. You are. He's not going to be back next year. But I can also look at opportunities and situations in college football where teams have lost that great quarterback and had great success the next year. LSU in 2007 is a great example of that. Jamarcus Russell went number 1 overall. LSU had 4 players taken in round 1. Jamarcus, LaRon Landry, Dwayne Bowe, Craig Buster Davis. That 2006 LSU team was arguably the most talented team before 2019 that LSU ever had. And you lose those players. You lose 4 first-round picks, and you come back and you win the national title the next year because you had core guys return. You had a veteran quarterback in Matt Flynn. You had Hester. You had Dorsey. You had a great core, and you went on and won the national title. So I get it. I get it. You're not going to have Jayden Daniels. You're not going to have Malik Neighbors. You're not going to have Brian Thomas. You're going to lose some key pieces on this team. But you're also going to have a lot of dudes that have been bought in going into year 3 of this Brian Kelly regime where you continue to, as he said, retain your players, continue to develop your players, supplement through the portal. Everyone's bought in on the culture, and you could be ready for that big step forward. Now, the thing worth mentioning for next year is that schedule is going to be a bear. Remember, you open up in Vegas against USC. You got UCLA at home as well, so 2 Power 5 non-conference games. And Oklahoma is coming on your schedule. So you will have Oklahoma in Baton Rouge. You got to play Alabama, which will be in Baton Rouge. Florida's still on your schedule. You got to play that one in Gainesville. So it ain't going to be easy when you look at the schedule you're going to face next year. But, the proof is sort of in the pudding for what Brian Kelly's been able to do building programs throughout his career. And year 3 has been a big spot with the retention, player development, and supplementing through the portal. See if it's just as big in Baton Rouge in year 3. Obviously, we wish at this point in the season LSU was playing for more. They're just not with 3 losses, and the defense will have to look for changes this offseason. All right, it's after further review. We're at Rouse's here on the corner of Burbank and Lee. Got a couple of segments to go. We are just minutes away from the conclusion of the Matchelor. A big shout out to Burke Harriman over at the original Harrimans. They drive. If you're watching us on WBTR or on our YouTube channel, you'll see the roses here. Our friends over at Original Harriman's Florist, they sent us 2 dozen, what do you say, I guess, individual roses. And so they're just strewn about the desk here. And Muse will announce the winner of the Matchelor, the lucky lady who will accompany him to the Aqua concert. That's coming up in about 15 minutes from right now, so we're looking forward to that. All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by Pure Restoration. Mold Zero is now Pure Restoration. Of course, with this rain this week, maybe you had some water intrusion. If you did or think you might have, you have mold or think you might, look up at your air vent. You see those little black specks all around your air vent? That's mold. Pure Restoration can come in. They can spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. They can knock out that mold in less than a day, especially at your home. But even large-scale commercial buildings, hospitals, schools, government buildings, Pure Restoration has serviced all of these large-scale buildings. There was a 200,000 square foot building that they had mold-free and reoccupied within 48 hours. It's Pure Restoration. Call Jim Woodworth and the gang, pure-restoration.com, pure-restoration.com. All right, y'all. Because we missed it yesterday, Amuse, Paulie, and I, when we come back, we'll get to our what to watch, 3 things we're watching for this football weekend. If you're just maybe knocking off of work, jumping in the car, heading out going, where's Theriot? Theriot was here last hour, did the pick 'em, had to bolt because Houston, his son, senior over at Dunham, they got a high school playoff game tonight, so he just jetted a little bit ago. So we'll get to an LSU-Georgia State prediction and the Matchelor winner in about 15 minutes from right now. When we come back, Muse, Paulie, and I will get to our what to watch for this upcoming football weekend. Looking forward to it and glad you're hanging out with us here from Rouse's on Burbank. We are presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. You can always get to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. And by the way, yes, we're here, and Rouse's is a great community partner. So they're doing this amazing thing for not only the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, but food banks in all of the markets they serve. But they got great options. Come into Rouse's. You see the Rouse's magazine with great recipe items. You can get the Rouse's weekly ad to see all of the great specials. Like right now, man, oysters. 8-ounce, quart, pint, half-gallon. They got deals on raw oysters. So if you want that oyster for your gumbo, you want to fry some oysters, man, they have got a great selection right now, and they are discounting them all. So come on into any of your Rouse's locations, get you some oysters. It's Rouse's, as we always say, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Big shout-out to the Saints for being here earlier today. The mascot gumbo, the Saints cheer crew, Randall Blue Gay was here as well, all helping tackle hunger and fill the food bank with Rouse's. This feels like home.
I've been doing business with Louisville for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford is taking $10,000 off MSRP on all new 23 Ford F-150 Black Widow trucks, plus $2,750 discount APR and 5.9% for 72 months. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after. After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, rolling along here, 5 o'clock hour, conclusion of the Matchelor. We'll have the winner announced here in about less than 15 minutes from right now. Final LSU-Georgia State prediction as well. We missed it on yesterday's show, so let's get to it right now. Muse, Paulie, and I, 3 things we're keeping an eye on this football weekend. Hit it, Muse.
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
All right, Muse, fire away.
All right, so I'm going to get us started off with USC and UCLA. You might remember a few weeks ago on our college football takeaways, I told you I thought USC was done winning, that they would end up 7-5. UCLA's kind of fallen on some hard times since then, had a bunch of injuries. Chip Kelly might be fired. USC has taken a step and fired Alex Grinch, which I probably didn't see happening mid-season. That's become a lot more interesting. SC is a 6-point favorite. I'm very interested to see if my prediction comes true or if USC can get the dub.
All right, Paulie, fire away.
All right, so I'm watching Washington, Oregon State. Obviously, probably one of the bigger games of the day. But I'm more watching it for the Heisman race. Michael Penix is leading, Bo Nix right there, Jayden Daniels. This is probably the biggest test remaining before a potential rematch with Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. Penix currently sits at 3,533 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Bill Steele earlier today said he liked Oregon State with the upset.
First one I'm going to keep an eye on is Bears-Lions for a few reasons. Of course, this is the return of Justin Fields, and the Bears are interesting because they're going to be picking at the top of the draft. Are they committed to Justin Fields or not? Well, him coming back from injury, whatever he does in the remainder of this season will be a big test case. But Detroit is also a huge story. Detroit is 7-2. If Detroit wins and moves to 8-2, that will be their best 10-game mark since 1962. It's incredible. Also, Detroit, with 6 consecutive wins in the division, that's their longest streak since the 1970 merger. So we are literally seeing things there with the Detroit Lions they haven't done in 50 or 60 years if they're able to get the win over the Bears on Sunday.
To the NFL I go, looking at the top of the NFC West, the Niners and the Seahawks are tied at 6-3 atop there a little bit halfway through the season. Seahawks are on the road at the Rams, sub-500 team. Niners host the Buccaneers, sub-500 team. Which can take advantage of it, or maybe they both and they remain tied. You look at the Niners, they were really on a rough stretch there. Dominated the Jaguars last week to break that. Looked like themselves again. Brock Purdy had another nice game. And Seattle, man, again, they kind of hit the skids a little bit. People starting to question Geno Smith a tad. Matthew Stafford, his status with L.A. Very interesting, and I know a couple of us with our predictions, we liked Seattle to win that division. So they're right there where we thought they would be.
I'll be watching Steelers and Browns, more so the Deshaun Watson impact. So he's out for the rest of the season. DTR is starting, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the rookie out of UCLA. Will the Browns fall out of the playoff race without Watson? Can their defense keep them afloat? This division is pretty much the Ravens for the taking, with them running away with it already. Burrow out, Deshaun Watson out. I'm just looking to see if they can at least make a wild card push.
Jets-Bills is Joe Brady's OC debut. Of course, he was the OC in Carolina, got fired after a season and a half. But with Ken Dorsey being fired, Joe Brady promoted. I'll remind you that the Bills and the Jets played in Week 1, and the Jets defense held Buffalo to 16 points in Week 1. Joe Brady has his work cut out for him against one of maybe the best defense in the NFL, but Buffalo is a touchdown home favorite because, well, the Jets stink and they can't score. This game is in Buffalo, but let's see how Joe Brady, the reboot there at OC, does on Sunday against the Jets D.
All right, game we previewed with Phil Steele earlier, Nebraska and Wisconsin, a battle for bowl eligibility. Again, this goes back a little bit to something I had a couple weeks ago where I wanted to see if Nebraska could get bowl eligible in the first year under Matt Rule, which would just be a great accomplishment. It would be their first bowl game since 2016. When I was watching that, they lost to a bad Michigan State team. This is kind of their last chance, and they need to do it on the road. If Nebraska doesn't, they have to face Iowa to wrap up the regular season. Wisconsin gets a trip to Minnesota. So more looking at Nebraska. Can they get over the hump in year one with Matt Rule, who's a great coach and wins everywhere he goes? This is a huge test.
I I'm watching Cardinals-Texans. I'm looking to see if C.J. Stroud can continue his high level with the Pro Bowl run he's on, essentially, and a potential MVP race. Texans are only one game behind the Jaguars in that division. And can Kyler Murray on the other side, can he continue that spark that he gave him last week? The Cardinals are no longer the worst team in the NFL, so that belongs to the Panthers, but they obviously have their quarterback of the future. So can Kyler Murray continue to get out of his own way?
All right, and finally, Tennessee and Georgia. Just because it's a bit of history, albeit unlikely, Georgia's a big favorite over Tennessee, 10, 10.5, depending on where you spend your money. But September the 28th of 1985, when Tennessee beat number 1 Auburn, the last time Tennessee has beaten a number 1 team in the country. It has been 38 years. Last year when Tennessee and Georgia played, Tennessee was the number 1 team in the country. Remember, they were number 1 in the college football playoff rankings. But it has been 38 years since Tennessee has beaten a number 1 team. They'll get a swing on Rocky Top on Saturday with the number 1 Bulldogs coming in. All right, there you have it. That is our What to Watch. We are here at Rouse's, Burbank, and Lee. Friday shows are brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. T-Bob and I will be at Don Juan on Saturday, of course. As soon as the game goes final, boom, we'll fire it up for Whiskey and Wine, recapping LSU-Georgia State. Hopefully another incredible performance by Jayden Daniels, continue to march his way toward New York City, and hopefully becoming LSU's 3rd Heisman Trophy winner. We will be at Don Juan Cigar Bar Saturday. Come on, watch the game at Don Juan. Hang out with us. As soon as the game goes final, boom, if you can't be at Don Juan, watch us on Whiskey and Wine on YouTube or Facebook. All right, it is After Further Review. Let's knock out our final break of the show. When we come back, the moment you've all waited for. Muso will reveal the winner of the Matchelor, and we'll find out who gets the final rose and a trip to the Aqua concert. Pretty excited, as are, I'm sure, many of you. And we'll do that, and we'll get your final preview and prediction on LSU and Georgia State. Stay with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Glow Resources, complete employer solutions. Glow Resources or glowresources.com, G-L-O, glowresources.com. Remember, if you're a business owner and you are struggling like so many business owners are right now with hiring, Glow Resources can help. When you work with Glow, that is a permanent solution. They take out the headache. Glow does not lose customers. You're selecting from a pre-qualified batch. Like if you are, as a business owner, tired of experimenting, if you continue to go the cheapest route when it comes to trying to hire, in the long term, you're wasting money on training and all the effort. Just do it right the first time. Trust Glow Resources. Long term, it'll be a cost-saving solution. Go to glowresources.com, G-L-O, glowresources.com. And Glow Resources works with businesses all over the world. So don't think you're confined just to Baton Rouge or Louisiana. It's Glow Resources. Complete employer solutions, glowresources.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. $20,000 off plus no payments for 90 days on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, Our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Louisville for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Football Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Really appreciate our friends at Rouse's for having us. We've been great partners, obviously, and anytime we have the opportunity to partner with Rouse's to do something cool, we're going to do it. And this is something with their Tackle Hunger promotion that they're doing, which is just awesome. I mean, Rouse's has 60 locations, I tell you all the time, from Lake Charles to Orange Beach, Alabama, and they're helping fill food banks in all of those markets. And so, when they came just a few minutes from our studio to this location here at Burbank and Lee and asked us if we'd be interested in helping, you darn right. So, not only because Rouse is a great partner, because Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Mr. Mike Manning, who was here with us earlier, has been a personal family friend for literally probably since I was 7 years old. But also, it's the holidays, man, and Nobody in this country should go to bed hungry. It's just nobody in the world should go to bed hungry. It's one of the perplexing things that when you actually stop and think about it, it's hard to fathom with so much abundance. But I'm not trying to wax poetic. Just trying to say thank you to everyone who has come by today, who might not have made it today, but might come by later today or at a later time. And grab one of these. You'll walk into a Rouse's, you'll see the brown paper bag. It's $5 or $10. You bring it to the register, and then you put it in the barrel, and it goes to the food bank. And we're going to do a lot of good for a lot of people. So thanks to everybody who's participating. Okay, all right, Muse, I have a question. Do you want me to do my my LSU-Georgia State final preview prediction thing, or do you want to do the Matchelor first?
I really don't have a preference, to be honest with you, man.
I asked an Enneagram 6, of course, someone who can't make a decision.
Good point.
Just gonna think about it. Just gonna think about it all. All right, so let's do this. I don't want to wait. I want the Matchelor. All right, Muse, kill this music.
Yeah.
Give me my Matchelor music, or your Matchelor music, as it were. I wish, I love that I'm here at Rouse's, but I wish we were all in the same room right now. Paulie, I don't even know if it's possible for you to do boxes on the screen so I could be on there while y'all are as well. I'm trying to watch. I'm trying to watch on YouTube to see if we can make this happen. But anyway, okay. What started as a radio bit, off the cuff and unintentional, really nothing more than just Scone trying to poke fun at Muse, per the usual, has turned into a blossoming love story. The Aqua Concert. Tickets donated, VIP tickets donated by Live Nation at the Fillmore Hotel. The Fillmore, not the hotel, just the Fillmore. Our friends at 7-3 Distilling jumped on board and said, we'll take the lovely couple
so that way they can imbibe and not have to worry about driving. Smart. Haspel generously donated Muso's threads so he might impress the lucky lady and the original Harriman's florist. Burke Harriman made sure that the lovely winner gets a rose. So without further ado, here's Muso to announce the winner of the final rose and the Matchelor.
All right. So, rock it. Hold on. Rock it. Headphones, man. I'm echoing in my ear. That kind of killed the moment there, didn't it? All right. The winner. I took my headphones off. I can still hear you laughing. The winner, again, killing the moment there. We'll try to bring it back. The winner is Sydney G. We won't go last name since that's probably would not be appropriate. So we'll go Sydney G, the winner.
Okay, we got a winner. Muse, what was it? What was it about Sydney G that was just so appealing that you had to award her the final rose?
It was a great bio, man. Great application. A lot of things that could be considered in common, I guess, as you would say. And it was just really well done. So that's kind of the deciding factor.
Okay, what did you all have in common? What can you share any of her answers? Maybe a
question
I didn't, that you posed.
Well, I didn't really know if we wanted to do that on air. That's why I kind of kept it vague there. But
no,
okay.
It's the Matchelor. The people want to know, Muse. It's like if Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are 1A, Muso and the Matchelor 1B.
Why do I have to be 1B?
Well, because you're not Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce.
Some would say that's a plus. But anyway, not many. Okay, well, hold on. I lost the music.
No, nobody would.
That's fair.
He's
nobody.
A future Hall of Fame tight end, and she's the most famous entertainer in the world.
That's true. She is. They seem to be very in love.
Yes.
Sports fan, Matt, that's one thing. Big sports fan. Seems to love animals. I love animals a lot as well. Margaritas. I'm a big margarita guy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Athletic. I am not athletic anymore. Those days are gone. I was athletic. I was athletic.
Muse, you're 29 years old.
I was sneaky fast.
63.
I was sneaky fast back in the day, though. I'm not sneaky fast anymore.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
He hasn't even hit 30. He's talking about back in the day.
Hey, next Thursday.
Bo's
The big 3.
Like 47.
Yeah. I know, Bo still does like kickflips and stuff.
It's so weird.
Bo's a guy.
Bo Wegman, our engineer. Like, no one would think, you'd look at Bo and you'd think, Bo, like 32? You know what I mean? Like, the 32-year-old is trying to still act like he's 26. No, he's like 48, acting like he's 22. That's Bo Wegman. All right. Congrats to Sydney G. Muse, have you contacted our lucky winner?
Well, I didn't think I was allowed to do that.
I don't think you should. I think you should not contact the winner. I think this should be you'll meet and talk for the first time. We'll have to let her know, though, that she won. So, I know, Muse. I'll call her. I'll call her and let her know.
You or Brittany. I mean, somebody in promotions. There's plenty of those people here. We have a whole promotions team.
Or I could do it.
Or you could do it.
Yeah, I don't think you want me to do it.
Now you could. Why not? You can do it.
Okay. Give me your number. I'm calling Sydney.
What's in the?
I hope she's excited.
You have the same entrant thing I had. Y'all didn't ask for phone. Y'all didn't ask. I was about to say y'all didn't ask for phone numbers.
I don't know.
Maybe Brittany should do this then.
That's Brittany Ensminger. I'm not in charge of promotion. No, she'll have contact. Of course she will. Because they had to fill out the entry form. They had to submit an email to fill out the entry form.
Yeah, I didn't include email on my questionnaire because it's 2023 and I'm a millennial, so.
Well, they still had to submit somehow, Muse. That's how they had to enter. You had to submit an email address to unlock the entry form. So, anyway, okay. Well, congrats to Sydney G., who is the lucky winner who will be going with Muso to the Aqua Concert VIP table at the Fillmore, and going to be a great night. Appreciate 7-3 Distilling, Haspel, the original Harriman's. Going to be a great night there for Muse and his lucky day. I cannot wait to be at the Fillmore and surprise Muse that he doesn't know I'm going, but to be there just like taking pictures of them the whole time. I got seats right next to him at the VIP
don't do that.
table. It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be a hoot. Yep, that's happening. All right, it's after further review. That's going to do it for us here. We appreciate y'all for locking in. Muse Pauly back in studio. Thanks so much. Have a great night. Go Tigers. Let's hope Jayden Daniels continues to roll. We will see you Monday at 3.
AFR.
All right, as we get on down the road, brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge, and online at southpointvw.com. Y'all, Sign Then Drive is going on right now at South Point Volkswagen. It's easy. Get by South Point Volkswagen, pick out your vehicle, sign your name, and with little else, you're driving away in a brand-new vehicle. We're talking about 0 down, 0 due at signing, no security deposit, no first month's payment. It is really that easy. You sign your name, you're driving away in a brand-new vehicle from South Point Volkswagen. Holidays are almost here. Maybe you want to get that Christmas gift, a car with a big bow, become the most popular parent in the world when you give your kid a car for Christmas. Do people actually do that? Some people probably do that. If you're one of those people that give your kid a car for Christmas, I was not that kid that got a car for Christmas, but if your kid would be that person, you'd be so lucky. Go get a vehicle at South Point Volkswagen. southpointvw.com. It's South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045.